piece of coal.
Yeah, yeah.
In this case, it's authentic, real American treasure. It's the best of anything you could imagine.
And there were two expeditions, the late 1980s.
Well, one was in the late 80s till 1990, and one was in 2014, separate events.
What's most incredible about this, Dwight, is that the ship sank, about 8,000 feet down?
7,000.
7,000 feet,
7,000 plus.
Yeah, so over a mile down at the bottom of the ocean in the Atlantic, about 150 miles off the Carolina coast, something like that?
200 miles offshore.
Okay.
Over 7,000 feet deep. And here these scientists, these geniuses, had figured out how to go 7,000 feet down into the pitch black ocean, rocking in a ship, searching hundreds of square miles.
Yes.
And found literally a coin.
Yeah.
And a pinch of dust and a gold ingot. It defies human. It's almost like, how does a cell phone picture go through the air and end up instantly in your phone? They were able to do that before cell phone technology. They were able to go find this stuff. That's crazy.
What I understand is that the first thing they found was an image of the paddle wheel?
Correct. The side scan sonar picked up on
something like this, folks?
The image, the picture of the paddle wheel.
Yeah.
There were two,
here?
one on each side. They saw that, and they knew they had a steamship.
Right.
They didn't know it was the Central America, but they went down and they saw this. They saw this on the camera, and they quickly grabbed a piece of coal from the ship. They had it in a jar, and a propeller plane came by and hooked it and flew it to Norfolk, and on Monday morning was at the courthouse steps and registered the find that they, the Columbus America Discovery Group, controlled that site.
They had to do that to stake their claim, otherwise it was still open season.
While they were searching, going back and forth with the sonar, looking for this ship, another ship was doing the same thing from a major university, trying to beat them to the punch.
Were they following right behind, or?
They were.
Yeah.
And there were literally standoffs at sea where, because there are different laws in the ocean, the laws of the high sea, that things got very testy.
Yeah.
It was literally like the Wild West with a shootout. Yeah. And they were both knowing that this was the Holy Grail to find.
So if they hadn't done that and gotten that one piece of coal, and that other ship came by and did their due diligence and somehow got a piece of coal out of there and got it to the mainland before them,
to the courthouse,
they would have had title to it.
That's correct.
Yeah. I guess most of the gold, what you were saying, could have fit inside like a tabletop, basically.
An executive's desk would hold everything that was ultimately worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but
there were several tons of gold. Much of it was in the form of gold coins and then gold bars.
Yep. And
now,
gold.
Now, folks, anything from the SS Central America is so valuable. I mean, the record at the time, there was a gold bar that sold in auction. What year was this, Dwight? This is the largest gold bar from the Central America.
The Eureka ingot, Kellogg and Humbert, 933 ounces. It sold privately, but yes, that was, it's getting close to 20 years ago. Yeah.
That bar sold for, I believe it was about $8 million.
I believe so.
That came to around, folks, that came to about $9,000 an ounce. Now, back then, gold was $350 to $400 an ounce. So it sold for over 20 times its gold value, because it's not just about the gold, it's the provenance, it's history. It's a very, very special, unique part of American history that's absolutely priceless. It's like finding an artifact from King Tut's tomb. You cannot put a price on these things. You've got some other gold bars here that they've encapsulated. Here's one that hasn't, just still has some lovely patina on it, that as it came up from the bottom of the ocean. Now, most of this gold then was put up for sale once it was released, and there were some double eagles that were offered, and they were sold out within a day.
Well, we acquired 93% of what was found by Tommy and Bob.
Yeah.
And the first $520 gold pieces that Bob had curated and PCGS had encapsulated sold out in a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just they sold so quickly.
And again, a $20 gold piece back then, about $400 worth of gold, and those sold less than $400.
Gold was closer, under $350.
Okay.
This was late January 2000.
Okay. And the gold coin sold for about how much?
4,000 to 70,000.
Okay.
60,000 for
Right.
67 back then. They all went up. They were wonderful. It's the equivalent to me of having a pair of sunglasses for $15, or having a pair of Elvis Presley sunglasses for $10,000, or having a dress from the 50s for $20, or having Marilyn Monroe's dress for $500,000. The pedigree matters.
Everything.
Okay, pedigree matters because pedigree lasts. People don't.
Yes.
And this pedigree is...
It's as good as it gets, Dwight.
It's better than Marilyn Monroe, because in 500 years, who knows what she's going to be.
Yeah.
But this is always number one.
This is the largest loss of gold by a U.S. naval ship in our history that we know for a fact.
Well, in human terms, it's the largest loss of life. At peacetime, 425 lives
That's
were,
a really
were
good
gone.
point. When the ship went down, folks, in 1857, again, this was a state-of-the-art paddle wheel steamer.
With the best captain at sea.
Captain William Herndon.
You're talking about a naval hero, the first man to map the Amazon. He was revered, and so this ship had the best quality captain you could possibly have. This was not some penny-ante little ferry system. This was the equivalent of a $50 million Gulfstream jet in 1857. The wealthiest people were on that ship.
They had first class, second. They had a parlor. This was luxury in 1857.
Yes.
I've got some pictures. When they began encountering the storm, they started to have some problems with leaking into the hull of the ship. There was a concern that if there was too much water that got into the hull, that the boilers would go out and then the ship would be at the mercy of the ocean.
Yeah.
So here's one picture, folks. When they were, this was Friday afternoon, September 11th. And all the men on board, first class, all the seamen, they all got in line in a brigade to try and keep the hull clear of water from flooding.
When a ship stalls, it's at the mercy of the sea. The big wave's going to come over it. Last week, a ship sank with 5,000 cows on it and dozens of crew hands because it stalled. A ship, that's the worst thing that can happen in choppy seas or hurricane is stall, and it's gonna sink.
There were some sailing ships nearby. One got into the area and they were able to rescue most of the women and children.
All of the women and children were saved. The bark Ellen came by. Captain Herndon had a back and forth of the lifeboats going. And again, his heroic stature was saving the women and children first. I mean, that's a true hero.
Yes. These pictures were recollections from the survivors of what it looked like during the hurricane when the ship was actually sinking. So this was actual first-person recollections of the survivors.
And again, eerily, seeing that picture, this bell was ringing. It had its metal ringer underneath, iron, going back and forth, obviously, as that ship was going back and forth and up and down. I mean, it's unbelievable that you have that human connection in front of you right now. And remember, the water then was 80 degrees. It was like bath water. But you had people sailing. These weren't people that grew up in luxury homes with swimming pools. They couldn't swim. So either they held on to something or they just drowned. There was a sea of humanity there that quickly drowned, and they knew their fate.
Over 400 people lost at sea. And there's the final image of Captain Herndon, again from the survivors, as they recall him standing at the helm of the ship there.
In his Navy full dress uniform.
Firing off flares.
Yep.
As he went down with the ship.
And there's the paddle wheel, that the first thing that Bob Evans saw on the sonar that he was standing over.
I read one story, Dwight, where the passengers on board, they were carrying their gold in these pouches, in these leather pouches, and many of them, you know, they knew what their fate was, and they were just taking the gold dust out of their pouches and just throwing it to the wind.
Yeah.
You know, and at that point, what a poignant image, you know, to imagine that gold that was so valuable, and a lot of these people who actually went overboard trying to carry the gold in their pockets, you know, hoping to catch onto a piece of wood or something as a raft to stay alive. Now that had huge ramifications in New York when they heard the SS Central America went down. It created a panic in New York in the banking system.
A couple of things happened when that got back to the President of the United States. One was he had dispatched troops for the Mormon uprising in Utah, and he called them back. And two, it caused a panic in the banks and set off domino effect and caused a recession because so much money had been lost. And there was a shortage of paying the soldiers and the military with those funds. Losing that kind of money then, over $1 million, over $1 million in commercial shipment, over $1 million in passenger gold, was a huge loss.
Yes. So the vast majority of this gold was uncovered in the late 1980s.
Correct.
But then there was a second expedition plan to see if you could recover any bits and pieces.
So what happened is the investors in the original expeditions had not had any returns on their investment and went to a judge in Ohio and said, will you take over, appoint a receiver to look after our, whatever our assets are? And he appointed a receiver named Ira Kane, who took it upon himself to say, you know what, there's more down there. I'm gonna put together an expedition. And he made it happen. And in 2014, they went back and they found something that they didn't know was there before.
Right.
That led to us being able to stand here right now.
This is really amazing, folks, because what they found in this second expedition was the Purser's safe.
Yep.
Bob Evans, the chief scientist, was telling me how when they opened the Purser's safe, it was just black goo in there because it was an anaerobic environment. There were, in other words, there were no real chemical reactions taking place because there was really no oxygen in that safe.
Pitch black, 36 degrees, pretty still down there.
Yeah.
Almost like being in a freezer.
It was too heavy to bring up. You got the door off. Now explain to our viewers what you found in the Purser's safe.
Well, I didn't find it, but Bob did. But inside that safe was a near full bag of dimes, silver dimes. There were small bags of quarters and half dollars.
The dimes supposedly were used to pay the crew, from what I
Correct, 10
understand.
cents a day for the labor. And there were original bags, leather bags that would go over a horse, and in those big satchels were leather pouches, cowhide sewn with very thick thread that had gold dust and ore in it right from the streams, right from the hills of California that hadn't yet been made into ingots or coins.
Yes.
All in there, and some envelopes with coins wrapped in red twine with seals on it. Just an absolute time capsule of the ship that had not been discovered prior 25 years.
Sasha's got a picture of one of those as it was brought up and actually the twine being removed.
There they are.
Yeah. And those, just those leather bags are historic relics. They're priceless.
They're unique.
You've got some.
They're unique.
Yeah.
That's something that was, you know, people lost their lives trying to acquire and achieve getting just one of those pouches, just one.
Folks, what we have today is the gold dust from those pouches from that Purser's safe. And this is the last of the SS Central America, really, this gold dust.
It's so rare that because in episode 1 you sold those pinches so fast and wanted to have more, and we had no gold for it, we literally had to take some of these 5 ounces, have Bob Evans fly out special just to be able to specifically measure these double pinches.
Down to the exact amount.
Scientifically, he had to and have those certified and authenticate them as these double pinches. We've never had them before, can't have them anymore. It's just made them for you. But they literally had to come from this. You can't go out to the hills of California and find some gold dust and say it's Central America gold. You can't. You have to have a time machine to do that. So literally, this is it. And because they sold so fast before, we were excited that we were able to make this happen. And then, to cap it all off, we had tried to negotiate for over 20 years all of the artifacts that had been in storage found in the 80s. And this is the creme de la creme of that. This is the holy grail of the ship. And by fortuitous circumstances, it's here. We were able to provide it. This is something that if somebody watches this show 1,000 times, I bet you they see something different every time. That this truly is the Mona Lisa for numismatics.
You've got the name here of the manufacturer of the bell, Morgan Iron Works.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bob said it was made in 1853. It was put on the ship when it was named the SS George Law, and then it changed the name to the SS Central America as it got recommissioned to be going down to Panama when it became part of the official coast-to-coast circuit. And that's when Captain Herndon became the captain. They say when you change a ship's name, it's bad luck. I would say that's true.
In this case, it was.
I would say that was true.
Folks, take a look at what we have on the top here. What Dwight has for us today is the remaining gold from that purser's safe from the SS Central America. Now, 5 ounces gold right now is around $2,000 an ounce. These 5-ounce parcels, it's about 0.88 pure gold. So you're almost talking about $10,000 in gold value alone. And remember, this is SS Central America gold. It's the provenance, that one gold bar that sold over 20 times gold value because it was from the SS Central America. We have the few parcels we have remaining of the 5-ounce size are only $19,995. That's about double the gold value. That is a great numismatic historical opportunity, folks. If you want to take advantage of it, we have a 3-payment option. All you have to do is put a third down today, $6,665, second payment in 30 days, and the balance in 60 days. And you will own one of the greatest numismatic treasures in the history of our country from the SS Central America. Look at that. Actual California gold from the California Gold Rush, taken off the purser's safe of the SS Central America. I know, Dwight, you've some of your best friends that you've known over the years have bought some of these themselves to put away. This is something you really want to, you've got to put away for the long term. You've got the name of Q. David Bowers.
He hand-signed those.
Hand-signed,
Dave
and Bob
Bowers,
Evans.
81 years old, the Dean of Numismatics, and Bob Evans, the Chief Scientist. Because I used these to get the double pinches for you to be able to offer, there are now less than 50 of these in existence, even though their serial number says /88.
Yeah, right.
They're even rarer than they were before. It's definitely something that's a centerpiece of a historical collection, even if you don't collect coins. That's something that the pedigree and having that much, if that had made it to the assayer, it would be, this is 7-ounce ingot. So this is only 2 ounces more of gold that's in there. This would sell for over $80,000.
Yeah.
That's less than a quarter the price. This is made from that. And that gold dust with that pedigree is as rare as this. it's a unique window in time that's actually able to be acquired. Because like you've compared to King Tut's tomb, where nothing can be owned privately,
Right.
It's controlled by a government, by Egypt. This, the United States allows, because of the Norfolk Federal Court that awarded this, that you can own this. This is not just in a museum where you have to look through glass.
Exactly.
This could be in your house.
Exactly. Folks, I don't often say this, but once in a while we get a presentation where we have something so special that if you're recording this and you play it back 10 or 20 years from now, and you ended up buying one of these items, and you play it back 10 or 20 years from now, and you'll be telling yourself, yeah, I remember when they originally made that presentation. Boy, I'm sure glad I was able to take advantage of it. However, if you play it back 10 or 20 years from now and you don't take advantage of it, you'll be looking back and saying, gosh, why didn't I pick that up when I had the opportunity? This is that opportunity. Now, what Dwight has also done, we recognize everybody can't swing a $20,000 item. We have taken the time to make what we're calling the double pinch parcel from the SS Central America. You can see there below, just for our audience here today. Each one is carefully weighed out by Bob Evans. I was reading how Bob Evans, Dwight, has spent, countless hours going through each one to make sure it was exactly a double pinch. Now explain to our viewers what a pinch of gold is, because that's interesting all in itself.
Well, in the gold rush days, at the shops, stores, hotels, there was a great shortage of coinage. The San Francisco Mint didn't start till 1854, and there were all these people running around off in the middle of the hills, and there weren't banks everywhere, so there was a shortage of money.
Yeah.
And so gold dust was the most common wealth source. And so when you went into a business, if you went up to the barkeeper, he took a pinch of gold with his big fat fingers for a shot of whiskey.
Yeah.
And if you wanted a double, it was a double pinch. And it literally became currency.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's where all of these pouches of gold came from. And these shopkeepers...
So they probably hired the guys with the biggest hands.
They were known for that.
Right.
That is true. Well, obviously, everybody was looking for an angle.
That's right. That's a great story.
Well, there are stories, too, of some miners taking brass and shaving it and mixing it in with their gold dust, resulting in lower fineness. Well, we see some ingots with finenesses down to the low 700s. What does that usually tell us? That gold wasn't straight from the stream to the assayer, but it stopped on the way at the shop or at the store where somebody had mixed it in and got a little extra weight to their pinch.
Yeah. Right. Now these have not been polluted with any of that.
This is touched by a gold miner in 1857.
Yes.
Went to the ship, went down, was recovered by Bob Evans.
In one of those leather pouches, yeah.
Was opened up from the pouches from Bob Evans, personally put into the PCGS holder, and then brought to you. That's it. That's an unbroken pedigree from 1857 till the year 2020 and beyond of this pedigree.
Folks, you're going to love this. Again, we have a limited number of these in the special double pinch holder. We sold out of the single pinches. They are gone. They're gone. We can't offer them anymore.
The entire weight of all the gold dust found in that purser safe was equal to the one Eureka bar. If you want to put it in perspective, there were 522 ingots the first time, 45 the second time. This total gold dust in the world is only one of those ingots.
Folks, they're only $199 each. $199 each for a double pinch in this custom PCGS holder, SS Central America pedigree. You can see the ship of gold on one side, a picture of the bell from the SS Central America on the other side.
Commemorative edition event because of the bell being on your show and tying it in with the pinch so that it can actually commemorate this event. Because truly, as exciting as the Central America is, and there's nothing that holds a candle to it,
Yeah.
having the bell here truly makes this
It really does.
memorable. Great.
Sasha, can you hand me one of those double pinches? I just want to get one of those in my hand. It is really, because last time we offered the single pinch, and this double pinch is really, really special. The picture of the bell really sets it off. It is a great, great photograph with, again, Bob Evans' signature here, the Ship of Gold, 1857 sunken treasure, double pinch. And again, Bob carefully weighed every one of these, so it's the exact correct amount of gold that you're getting in each one of these for only $199. We're getting a lot of people calling in on this. This is U.S. history, folks. This is the greatest United States history, U.S. numismatic history. The greatest discovery of gold in our country's young life came about in 1848. And with all that gold, we had this tremendous treasure in California, and the only problem was getting it from California to the East Coast, where it could be melted down into gold coin. And it was the job of ships like the SS Central America to transport all that gold dust and all those gold bars to New York, where all that gold dust and gold bars would then make it to the smelters and make it to the mint and get melted down to be struck into gold coins. The fact that this exists at all, like you see it, from 1857, is because of the sinking of the SS Central America. This gold dust should not exist as you see it now. What you're looking at should be a coin, but it never made it to New York. And so it has survived in its original gold dust state, discovered in a leather pouch, and we're able to offer them today. These double pinches for only $199. We have a limited number of the double pinches for only $199, but then the 5-ounce parcels, folks, we have for $19,995. We have a very limited number of those 5-ounce parcels. When you get the 5-ounce parcel, there is a custom leather holder for the 5-ounce parcel with the name SS Central America to hold, protect that 5-ounce parcel. Beautiful leather. We have a limited number of those 5-ounce parcels left. These double pinches, $199. As with the single pinches we offered many months ago, we sold out of those. We have a limited number of the double pinches as well. This will be the last offering. This is the grand finale from the SS Central America, folks. There is no part 3. This is part 2 of a 2-part presentation. And with these double pinches, this is an opportunity to get a piece of United States numismatic history we'll never again see in our lifetime. This is truly, truly a once-in-a-lifetime event, folks. I hope you can take advantage of it. Again, these are only $199.
What this double pinch should symbolize is excitement, adventure, learning, and maybe a career. I found a 1909 Lincoln cent in a coffee can and turned that into a numismatic career that I'm very blessed to have. Mm-hmm. I think every parent or grandparent, anybody that has a child between the ages of 6 and 16 should buy one of these and give it to that child and see what it unlocks. This isn't about making money. This isn't about putting it in a dark place and not looking at it, but this could unlock. Imagine when you were a child, instead of finding a coin on the table, or I found a 1909 wheat cent, if I had this.
Yes.
This isn't just a coin made at the mint. This is the gold rush. This is California history and human life. This is something that didn't go through a mint. This is something that took millions of years for the earth to produce. Okay, this isn't something that man can go make. And for $199, imagine the excitement. I've taught Coin Club to classes, to schools for decades.
Yes.
To Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. They are fascinated. They are sponges, and especially when they can hold something. And what else can you give them for under $200 that's actually the real deal?
Yeah.
The real thing. If this leads to a career in something, whether it's in history, whether it's being a teacher, whether it's being a coin dealer, this can unlock things in the brain.
That's right.
That a book can't
That's
do.
right.
That even us talking can't do. They need to hold it.
When you get this and you hear the story of the ship, I mean, folks, when we're talking 1857, the risks people took, the sense of adventure to really create a life that was really the American dream. And this is what our country has been founded on. That sense of adventure, that sense of striving to have a life better than what your parents or grandparents had. This is what enticed people to go out to California and take that risk. And
worldwide.
From around the world. They came from Asia, they came from Europe, they came from South America, Australia, for United States gold.
Australian gold coins were found on the ship 2 years old.
Wow.
1 year old.
And European gold coins.
European gold coins back to
amazing.
Early 1800s. But somebody got on a ship in Australia, in Sydney, brought brand new gold, and went to mine their gold in San Francisco. I mean, this is not when they had wire services and newspapers the next day with news. It was worldwide known. This was the place to stake your future. We were a country of pioneers, refugees 70 years earlier, 80 years earlier from England, and all of a sudden, the fuel that made us the leader of the free world was coming out of the ground in quantities that nobody had ever seen. It all disappeared. It all turned into something else, like a cloud blowing over your head. You see it, and then it's gone. And yet, here it is in your hand, the cloud, the gold dust, that shouldn't exist in a limited amount because it's just it's special.
Folks, this is what our show is all about. This is what our country is all about. An item like this treasure, this numismatic treasure, this history, the provenance of this, it's about the guts of our country that made us into the country we are today, these people who had this adventure, willing to take the risks. And you can have one of these now while they're available. If you've got kids, like Dwight says, get at least one for each of your kids, for your grandkids. This is something they want to put away, pass on to their children and grandchildren. This is something you will not see again. Once this is gone, that'll be it. One of the greatest, if not the greatest treasures ever in the history of our country, certainly in all of U.S. numismatics. As that article, in wrapping up, as that article in Life magazine stated, back in the early 1990s, that 10, 12-page article in Life magazine that they highlighted, the greatest treasure ever found, gold, from the SS Central America. And this is the last of it, from the purser's safe of the SS Central America. I hope you can take advantage of it. We have a lot of people calling in. This has been an extraordinary opportunity, Dwight. I want to thank you for coming on again. It's a thrill.
It's an honor. Maybe you could close the show by ringing the bell, since that's how you opened it. It truly is. Yeah. For the people that can't be here to see it, it's truly, it's a privilege to be next to it. So I think that would be an appropriate way to end the special.
You want to do it?
No, I like watching you do it.
Thank you, Dwight.
Amazing.
That's it, folks. That's what it sounded like when the ship went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you again. There is nothing I enjoy more than helping our clients build the coin collections of their dreams.
Are you looking to assemble a complete collection of coins but are having difficulty finding the rare ones you're missing? Do you need guidance in locating and acquiring high-grade, high-quality examples of certain hard-to-find coins? That's why Rick's U.S. Coin Show has introduced the Private Advisory Coin Team. Rick and Jack deal with many high-end coins for private collections that are not shown on our regular TV show. And now you can have access to these coins too.
With the collective wisdom of our team and the breadth of our relationships at Rick's U.S. Coin Show, we have access to the most prestigious private collections, coin shows, and dealer inventories across the country, all to help you build the numismatic coin collection of your dreams.
The Private Advisory Coin Team is for those collectors who seek those ultra super rare and hard to find coins that you only read about in numismatic books.
If you're interested in learning more about some of the rarest and most valuable coins known, call the number on your screen and tell our customer service representative you would like to be connected with a member of the Private Advisory Coin Team.
And be sure to keep watching Rick, Jack, and James on Rick's U.S. Coin Show.
One of the greatest sets the Mint has ever produced for us collectors was the Statehood Quarter Series. I mean, when this first came out, I thought it was such a great inspirational idea where you have, the 50 states, and each year the Mint would strike 5 different issues in the series in the order that the states came into the Union. And each quarter would have, the symbols, landmarks, famous people, et cetera, that particular state was known for on that quarter for that year. So in the very first year, you had, Delaware was the first state to enter the Union. So that was the first struck, followed by Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut. And those all came out in 1999. In the second year, 2000, you had Massachusetts, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, and so on for each year until the last year of the series was 2008. And when you finally had the last 5 states that entered the Union, you had Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, and of course Alaska and Hawaii. Most of the collectors who collected these, got the coins that they found in their change. And they had their albums, and they would find the coins in their change, and they would complete the sets that way. And that's a great way to collect these coins. And the Mint struck large amounts of these coins for commerce. When they first started striking these in 1999, you can see in that first year, they struck anywhere from 300 million, 300 million roughly to almost 700 million of the Connecticut's at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for commerce in that first year. And these were coins, again, the kind of coins you find in your pocket change that were just struck for commerce. In the second year, they struck similar large amounts, hundreds of millions of them each year. As we go down the list there, 2000, you can see the mintages were all quite high, and they were really, they've always been extremely popular. It's a cool series. And you get to the next group there, 2002s, get to the next page. Once in a while, you dip into the 200 million range. There you see a lot of them in the 200 to 300 million range in terms of total mintage. And then finally, we finish up the series with the 2007 and 2008s. And the only one that dips below 200 million was that 2008 Oklahoma, 194 million. Now, on the other hand, in proof condition, they struck a lot fewer of these in proof condition. Proof coins are meant to represent the state of the art, the finest possible quality the Mint's able to produce given the technology of the day. So the proof coins, in order to make the proof coins, the U.S. Mint would take the finest dies and they would just polish them and treat them until the dies had a mirror-like finish. And then they'd give the coin blanks a similar kind of polishing treatment. Then they would slowly feed these blanks into the die and strike them at least twice under higher pressure to bring out every possible detail of the design. And that's so important with the statehood quarters, because when you see these coins up close, there is so much fine detail. And you see it all on the proof coins. And most importantly, once the proof coins are struck, while the coins for commercial use were struck and dumped into bins where they braid with other coins, the proof coins were all individually handled. They weren't allowed to braid with any other coins. Now, the proof coins, there are 2 different kinds of statehood quarter proof coins. There were those that were struck in clad metal with no precious metal content, and then they struck a limited number in silver, and they struck a lot fewer of these. 1999S clad, they struck about 3.7 million, but in silver, only 800,000. 2000, 4 million in clad, 965,000 in silver. 2002, 3 million in clad, 892,000 in silver. You go on down the list. The lowest mintage in clad was the last year, 2008. A little over 2 million were clad, just about 1.2 million in silver condition. And what I have for you today, I've offered these once before where I had a set in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo, the complete 50 coin set. I have most of this set on display right over here. Folks, this set is so big, we couldn't fit it all on the display. You've got 50 different states, 50 coins in this set. We have this set at a great price. We've got the last 3 years right over here. But you can see that we have them arranged in order, that they were struck in order, that the states entered the Union. The first one, again, being Delaware, and then Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Each one unique. Just a fabulous, fabulous set. It's a great set for your kids because it teaches them so much about our country. So much of our history is on each of these coins. It's just a tremendous, tremendous numismatic set. Really an inspirational set that the Mint struck for us collectors. It's really a job well done. And there you see this entire set in 6.9 Ultra Cameo. And you're going to love the price. Now, again, in the previous presentation, that's all we were able to offer were these sets in Proof 69. But what I have today for you is something extra special because I have a limited number of sets, fewer than 10, in Proof 70 as well. There you got the Illinois Proof 69 Ultra, Land of Lincoln. There's Abe Lincoln there, Alabama, Maine, Missouri with the Golden Arch, Texas, Lone Star State, Iowa, Wisconsin, California, Minnesota, Oregon, Kansas, look at the Buffalo, West Virginia. Then we have, again, we have the 2006s over here, the 2007s, the 2008s, which we're going to show you in the Proof 70 set, folks. Here is the set in Proof 70. We have a real limited number of these. This is the first time I've ever been able to offer these. You're going to love the price on whichever set you choose. This is a home run. I mean, putting one of these together was really, really difficult in 70. Some of these dates in 70, especially the early dates, the 1999s have gone for moon money in 70. When these first came out in those early years, I mean, the 1999s were the key date to get in 70. They were going for moon money. Now, back then, 15 years ago, was not the time to buy those coins because they were going for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 or more for individual coins. Okay, that was, you paid top dollar at that time. Folks, this is the perfect time to buy because I put these sets together for myself and I have them at a great, great price for you. Again, it's based on my cost. And we've got all 50 on display here because we have a second stand we put up to fit the last year of the series. This stand is a little bit bigger than the stand we had for the 6.9s. You've got the 2006, there's South Dakota, there's Montana, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, I believe it came into the Union in 1911, Alaska, and Hawaii, I believe they came into the Union in 1958. The last 2 years in this 50 coin set. When these came out, there was a time, here's a 1999 that sold in auction, folks, a Delaware, silver. This sold in auction for over just the one coin, $19,000. That was a very high price. But even today, you'll see these coins for over $2,000. And here's just the 1999 set. Here's an NGC 1999 set that sold in 70. Just the 1999 set. Again, that's the key year, the toughest year. Sold for $4,600 just for that 1 year. You sent one of these coins to NGC, they have a grading fee of $30. That's their lower priced grading fee. They charge $8 as a handling fee. They ship everything back to you registered mail. That's roughly $24. Right there, you're into the coin for over $60. And then you have to ship the coin to them. And you have the cost of the coin. You're into the coin for $90 to $150. So you can easily understand if you've got a 50 coin set times 100, that's $5,000. We have been able to put this set together in 6.9 Ultra Cameo. These folks are flawless to the eye. We have a limited number of these in 6.9. Call in now. First time we offered these, we sold out within a week, okay? And we had around 50 sets. They were gone. I have a limited number of these sets in 6.9. I have them for only $15.90 a coin, folks. I mean, do the math. I mean, these are the silver issues. You can own a set in 6.9 while I have them for only $795. That's the entire 50 coin set. It's the silver set, not the clad set. It's the silver set, lower mintage silver set for only $15.90 a coin in 6.9 Ultra Cameo. That's the entire set. That includes the $19.99. I mean, there's one dealer just for the $19.99 set in 6.9. He wants $500 just for the $19.99 set. Just for that one set. You've got the entire 50 coin set for $795, $15.90 a coin. Now, what about the Proof 70 sets? Well, again, I don't have very many of these, but what I am able to do is offer these at a great price. I've got the entire Proof 70 Ultra Cameo set, and putting these together was really difficult. This set is not $20,000 or $15,000 or $10,000 or $4,900, nothing like that. I've got these Proof 70 sets, and you have to understand that when NGC grades these coins for 70, the coins go through an extra grading step. When NGC gets a coin that looks like it's a flawless Proof 70, they pull the coin aside. They then study it under an even higher magnification than the first review. And if under that higher magnification it looks flawless, they then give it a grade of Proof 70. Now that's an additional labor, additional work involved, so they charge an additional fee to grade these Proof 70s. So these even are even more expensive to grade than the Proof 69s. But I'm able to offer these sets in Proof 70. Again, I have a limited number of these, folks. I have fewer than 10 sets in 70. $2,495 a set. That's $49.90 a coin. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. This is the entire set. It includes the $19.99 set. The entire set for $2,495. Take a look at these. This is just extraordinary. You go to that very first year of issue, the 1999s. It's just extraordinary. The entire set. Normally you'd see dealers asking $24.95 just for the 1999 set. There you see the Delaware. Again, by itself, that coin has gone for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, over $10,000. Got the Delaware, the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia. Finally, the last coin issued in 1999, Connecticut, the fifth coin to enter the Union. $24.95, $2,495. That's not just for the 1999 set. That is for the entire 50 coin set, and it's the silver set, not the clad set. The silver set in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. We've got a lot of people calling in. Several 6.9 sets have sold. Looks like we've already sold a couple sets in 70. Again, folks, you do the math, that's $49.90 a coin. We've done all the work for you. This is a great time to acquire one of these statehood quarter sets in the finest possible condition at the best possible price. Now, you don't have to get the 70 set. If you want the very best, if you want the ultimate, this is it right here. This 70 set for only $24.95. But a lot of you are getting the 6.9 set because really the 6.9 set is flawless to the naked eye. The only way you're going to see the difference between a 69 and a 70 is to really study it close under magnification. Because the 69s are flawless to the naked eye, and they're only $795 a set. You know, that's a 50 coin set for only $795. It comes out to $15.90 a coin. And again, these are silver issues. You've got the silver bullion value just alone, and the silver issues are much, much rarer, much lower mintage than the clad issues. I mean, these are the most desirable of the statehood quarters, and we have them at a great price for you. We hope you can take advantage of it. It's just a great, great opportunity. It's a great collector series. And it has so much value in the stories they tell. When you look at each one of these coins, there's so much about our country on each one of these coins in this entire set. It's a great teaching tool for your kids, your grandkids. There's history. There's all the things that make our country what it is today. You know, it's what collecting is all about. You know, I'm really thrilled to be able to offer these sets in superb, superb condition in 6, 9, and 70 at these kind of prices. It's really a great, great opportunity. If you've been looking at one of these statehood quarter series, now's the time to pick one of these up. One last time, I have a limited number of these sets in 6, 9. We got a lot of people calling in. The 6, 9 sets are only $795. $795, that's $15.90 a coin, you know, and then we have the 70 sets, you know, with all the grading fees, etc. You know, you'd think these sets would be priced several times higher than what I have them at. The 70 sets are only $24.95, $2,495, $49.90 a coin. Again, I had fewer than 10 to start. We've sold several. I got to cut it right here. Thank you for watching.
All right, everybody, it's here, the coin everybody wants. It is the 2019 San Francisco Struck Enhanced Reverse Proof Silver Eagle. There's never been a coin like this before. Well, there's been a lot of Silver Eagles, of course, have been making this silver dollar since 1986. This has been the most popular silver dollar in the world. It's even more popular than the beloved Morgan dollar. And we sell a lot of American Silver Eagles, and we do them in complete collections from the very beginning right up to the present time, both in mint state and in proof. The thing about the American Silver Eagle is it didn't happen right away, but after a few years of production, collectors began to realize that even the bullion issue, the mint state issue, were quite collectible. And of course, the proofs, which are struck for collectors anyways, and have to be ordered directly from the U.S. Mint, are the ultimate when it comes to an American Silver Eagle as a collectible. And there are a lot of folks who would argue that mint state or proof, but either way, the most popular silver dollar in the United States of America today is the American Silver Eagle dollar. This is a broad program that's been going strong since 1986. Ronald Reagan signed into law the Liberty Coin Act, which authorized the Treasury, and this was in 1985, he authorized the Treasury to begin striking this coin, and that was in 1986 when they started striking. So since 1986, as a business strike, or a bullion issue, if you will, over 534 million coins. The collectible coins are the proof and the burnished die. The burnished die is really an uncirculated, a business strike with a mint mark on it. The business strikes don't carry a mint mark. So the proofs, there were 23 million, burnished dies, 3.6 million. Now, the reverse proofs are the scarcest of all the American Silver Eagle dollars. They're only around since 2006. So they did a reverse proof in 2006, one in 2011, one in 2013. And for 2019, it was a really special enhanced reverse proof that the Mint struck at San Francisco. If you snap your fingers like this, they sold out quicker than that. Everybody from all over the world wanted one of those coins. we have the ultimate version of that coin. Now, here's the thing about that coin. Going in, it was announced that it would have the lowest mintage of any silver eagle ever issued. Whether it be the mint state, burnished die, or the proofs, this is the absolute lowest mintage. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, no, it's not. The 1995 from West Point that was issued to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the program has the lowest mintage. That's the king. That's the American Silver Eagle version of the 1893 S. Morgan dollar. So we take a look here, and at the very bottom, in red, is for 2019 from San Francisco, enhanced reverse proof Silver Eagle. There were only 30,000 coins. And you can see a total of over 562 million Silver Eagles of all kinds have been struck up to 2019. There is a new king. There's a new kid in town. It's the 2019 San Francisco Struck enhanced reverse proof Silver Eagle with a mintage of only 30,000. Millions of people didn't get one of these coins. They tried, they couldn't get one. Almost everybody was shut out because only 30,000 coins exist. And you know the thing about that coin? Every single one of them is out the door, shipped out of the U.S. Mint. They're not in vaults. They're not on shelves. They're gone. That's a lot of people who own Silver Eagles. So it's pretty understandable why almost everybody, virtually everybody, I mean, statistically, the percentage of people who got this coin, forget it, so low, can't even calculate. Individually, American proof Silver Eagles, starting at the top with the highest mintage in the 1986. And that really got the program off and running because everybody was so anxious for a great new silver dollar. It was very, very popular. And we have listed these coins in descending mintage. So as you look at all these great dates, and everyone up there is represented. Now, there is something I want to tell all you collectors out there before you ask, where's the 2009? There was not a 2009 issued except as the bullion, the mint state. The burnished die and the proofs were not struck. There wasn't enough silver. There were runs on silver that began shortly before that that did not allow the mint any leftover silver after the mandatory other coins were struck to produce the 2009 proof. So I'm going to answer your question in advance. You don't have a 2009 proof Silver Eagle because one never existed. Let's get back to the proof Silver Eagles that do exist. So here you see all the great coins, fabulous coins, and in the highest grade, if you're lucky enough to get these coins in a perfect proof 70 grade, you have a numismatic masterpiece. And the 6.9s are pretty good too, that's for sure. So go all the way through the whole list, every year, every key date, rare date, they're all there. In fact, there goes the 1995 W. You know, I have to say it, the king is dead, long live the king, right? The new king, it always used to be that 1995 W was at the very bottom of the list. The mintage was 30,125. Well, like I said, there's a new kid in town. Take a look. Only 30,000 enhanced reverse proofs. And by the way, of the 4 issues of the enhanced reverse proof, that's the lowest mintage. Well, let's face it, there is no Silver Eagle, no matter what the finish, as low a mintage as this coin from San Francisco. None. Now, I mentioned in 1995, a great coin was offered by the U.S. Mint for the 10th anniversary. And there is an auction price realized, and this goes way back, folks. This is 10, 12 years old, even older. And I'm showing you this because in 1995, with a mintage of 30,125, began to get a little steam right about now. And there's one that sold at auction for $3,490. Well, yeah, boy, would we love to get one of those today. Oh, and by the way, it was a perfect 70 grade. Little time went by, a few years, and one sold also in a perfect 70 grade, the 1995, for almost $14,000. Started to gain steam, and not that long ago, but still quite a few years, over $22,000. 1995 W in a perfect grade, rarest of them all, until the coin we are premiering right now. $23,500 was a relatively recent sale. And I have to tell you right now, honestly, if you called us for a 1995W, you're going to pay more than that. Probably 25 grand, maybe even more. It gained steam as the Silver Eagle program did. Because at first, a lot of people didn't pay attention to the Silver Eagle program. But as the grading services started to certify the coin and enough years were issued to put together collections, it started to become incredibly popular. They're writing books about the Silver Eagle right now. And that rarely happens. I mean, usually it's, history, a long time has to go by before people start delving into the ancient history of like the half dollars and the silver dollars and all that kind of stuff. But the Silver Eagle, so popular that almost immediately became legendary. So here is a lot of 3 first day of issue, 2019 S enhanced reverse proof, being offered at close to $170,000, 3 coins. That's rarity. You cannot deny that. 3 coins, first day of issue, PCGS graded. Here are 2 graded. Now these are all proof 70, reverse proof 70 grades. These come with the certificate of authenticity. So do ours. They're all encapsulated as well. And you'll get a certificate that corresponds to the certificate number on the label, just as you see there. So there are 2 being offered right there for $20,000, for $10,000 each, 2019. I mean, this coin is the rarest Silver Eagle ever issued. The lowest mintage, rarest. This is absolute rarity. I mean, seriously, a 2019 S enhanced reverse proof, if it was out of the certification and run over by a train, it would still be worth $5 grand. That's the rarity of this coin. Here's another Mercanti signed label. Ours is too. And we have first day of issue. That one is $5,595. Now, this would be a great time for me to stop to let you know I'm lucky, but you're even luckier, and I'll tell you why. I literally threw a tantrum, I'm not kidding, to keep this coin at the price that we have it at, because the market is accelerating at warp speed. And they were so nice. Jack and Rick. I said, come on. This is the coin everybody's been waiting for. This is the coin that you would still have to submit 2 or 3 to get a perfect grade back. But nobody can find them anyways. And when you can, here's one at $5,500. So we have them in PCGS grade, Mercanti signed, perfect proof 70 grade. It's really a reverse proof 70 grade. Did I mention first day of issue? Those coins I showed you where they were offering 3 for almost $170,000? Those were first day of issue. They weren't signed by Mercanti. So how about this? Let's see. I know you want to know the price. And I'm milking this a little bit, and I'm sorry. Because here's one for $4,800. I don't see any Mercanti signature. That one's a first strike. We have first day of issue. The first day of issue. Rare Collectibles TV sells the 2019 S in a perfect grade by PCGS with a signature of John Mercanti, the designer of the reverse. It's a headline. It really is. It's a newspaper headline because we sell this coin for $3,495, less than $3,500. $3,495. Unreal. And we're splitting it into 2 payments. This is the rarest American Silver Eagle dollar ever. Enhanced reverse proof. We at Rare Collectibles TV sell this coin for $3,495 in a perfect grade of reverse proof 70. John Mercanti has signed the label. It's the lowest mintage. Now, the reverse proofs, there's hardly any of anyways. This is merely just the 4th. But of the 4, this is the lowest mintage by far. $3,495. You know, not every one of these or every two of these are going to be a perfect grade. In spite of the fact that the Mint uses the latest technology and the greatest artists to produce the most stunning silver dollars, absolutely flawless. And they're flawless under magnification, 5 times magnified, and not a flaw. That's how you tell the difference between a Proof 69 and a Proof 70. They come with the original certificate of authenticity, and it corresponds with the certificate number on the label. So this coin is fully pedigreed, fully archived in your collection right now. Even before you get it, you're making a space. It is the rarest of them all. Folks, there's a lot of coin collectors. There are millions of American Silver Eagle collectors. Most everybody, I would have to say 95, 98% of all the coin collectors who wanted this coin weren't able to get one. They're out there right now paying $55.95, or maybe they get it for $4,800. $3,495, split into 2 payments. The coin is fantastically priced, but this is a spectacular deal because it's got the greatest price, the highest grade, one of the greatest grading services, first day of issue. It goes on and on and on for the value. Oh, John McConty, the designer of the reverse. Now, we all know that for 2021, that reverse that you see going by right there is going away. Adds to the collectability. I mean, that coin with the San Francisco Mint mark, look at the different finishes on that coin that incorporate an enhanced reverse proof. Back in 1907, when the first St. Gaudens was struck as an experimental piece, the reason why Augustus St. Gaudens and Teddy Roosevelt got together to strike that coin was to show the world what the U.S. Mint could do in terms of state-of-the-art technology and artistry. That was true in 1907, and it's true in 2019. Because the Mint has always prided itself on making the highest quality collector coins, the highest quality coins, period, of any minting operation in the world. People send their employees from other mints to our mint to learn how to strike coins. I've seen them. I've seen them come into town. I've seen them come to America from all over, come to coin shows. I'd say, what are you doing here? They'd say, we went to the Mint in San Francisco. We went to the Mint in Philadelphia because we needed some tutoring on how you guys do such a good job. There's a lot to striking a coin. So when you talk about quality, the highest quality, the U.S. Mint, the flagship mint for all the world's mints. We have it at the greatest price. And I'll say it again, I'd like to shout this through a megaphone. $3,495. 2 payments of $1,747.50 for the rarest, absolute rarest American Silver Eagle. No Silver Eagle, whether it be proof, burnished die, none, have a mintage as low as 30,000. But this coin does. It is the king of the hill, the top of the mountain. It's everything. 2 payments of $1,747.50. Now, I don't really think I'm done talking about this coin because, folks, it's less than $3,500. I guarantee you right now, uncertified, for the coins that are uncertified, they have to be in a mint sealed box. For you to be able to purchase a coin that's not graded in a mint sealed box right now, I guarantee you, will cost 2 times easily, probably 3 times, because there's that potential for a perfect grade. These are perfect grade. You don't have to buy multiple coins at several $1,000s more than we're selling a perfect reverse proof 70 to try to get one graded a 70 by the grading service. And then you got to go chase down John McConty and beg him to sign your label, and that's not going to happen. So this is the ultimate absolute rarity in the Silver Eagle series. And think about this. As time goes on, this coin, if it's hard to get now, I can guarantee you, impossible. Impossible. When I first started as a coin dealer, close to 40 years ago, some of the greatest coins were still available. You could buy an 1893S in a pretty nice grade. You could buy some of the great coins that today are untouchable. This one's headed in that direction. That's all I want to say. That's all I need to say. So folks, it's here. We have it. They're live. They're the ultimate, the greatest price. And if you don't get one now, I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you. But I'm really happy to be able to bring it to you right now. But I got to wrap this up. So don't forget, $3,495. Split the payment in two. Make it really easy to own this coin. And add this into your collection, because it is absolutely the greatest ever issued, and only going to get better as time goes on. Thanks for watching. I always say this, stay tuned, because there's going to be another great coin coming up. I'm positive. Thank you very much.
I know my silver dollars. Over the years, I have helped my clients assemble some of the finest United States silver dollar sets in the world. Here, for example, there were many awards that my clients have received over the years. Here's one from NGC for the finest Proof Morgan collection that they gave out to a client of mine in the year 2006. Best classic set. Everest Proof Morgan dollars. In fact, one of the coins from that collection is pictured right over here. The 1878 reverse of 79. That is the finest known Proof 64 cameo. That original set has since been broken up, and that coin now is in the current finest set, and it's been regraded. When I originally sold that coin to my client, I told him it was very conservatively graded, and over the last several years, all the grading services have initiated the plus standard in their grading, and the coin has subsequently been regraded to Proof 64 Plus Cameo. And it's extremely rare. There's only perhaps 6 to 10 in existence. That may be the first Proof Morgan dollar to sell for $1 million at some point in the near future. At the time I placed it with the client, it was in the $250,000, $300,000 range, but it's going to be $1 million coin someday. Folks, I know my Morgan dollars. In a more recent presentation just a couple years ago, I urged you folks, my clients, to acquire a collection of brilliant uncirculated Morgan dollars that featured the 1879S reverse of 78 Morgan as part of the collection I had been offering. When I was offering that collection, that 1879S reverse of 78 was about a $300 coin at that time. Today, just a few years later, that same brilliant uncirculated Morgan 1879S with the reverse of 1878 sells for upwards of $1,000. That coin alone, folks, is now worth about as much as what I had been selling the entire 5-coin set for. I know my silver dollars. And I am telling you that now is the time to acquire the most incredible, most beautiful, breathtaking Proof silver dollar collection I have for you today, folks. Because in the year 2021, the U.S. Mint will make United States numismatic history. It's already been the headlines in publications across our nation. Numismatic articles talking about the new reverse coming for the American Silver Eagle. Here's one headline: New American Eagle reverse design debuts in 2021. Here it shows the original reverse called the Heraldic Eagle reverse that's been used on the American Eagle since it was first struck in 1986. Here's another headline: Big announcement from the United States Mint about the new reverse coming. New American Eagle reverse design debuts in 2021. Collectors on edge for design reveal. What's the new reverse design going to look like? Well, just last week, for the first time, the Mint revealed the new reverse designs, and there's going to be two of them, one for the American Silver Eagle and one for the Gold Eagle. And here will be the new reverse designs of the American Silver Eagle and the American Gold Eagle. Now, these new reverse designs, folks, are truly stunning renditions of the American Eagle. They're among the most beautiful to grace a United States coin. And it's a worthy successor to the Heraldic Eagle design that it's replacing. I predict this new 2021 American Silver Eagle will experience record demand, because not only will established collectors of this series want an example, but there will be millions of Americans, many who may have never owned a rare United States numismatic coin before, who will want to own at least one example. Many people will want to get one for each of their kids or grandkids. There will be so many new collectors of the American Silver Eagle Silver Dollar Series in the years ahead. The American Silver Eagle Dollar Series was first struck on November 24th, 1986. And that coin design, as we have come to know it, has been struck like that since 1986 through the year 2020. It's going to be, again, a new design coming in 2021. Now, the obverse of the design originally came from what we refer to as the Walking Liberty Half Dollar. The Walking Liberty Half Dollar was originally designed by Adolph Weinman during the Renaissance era, and it was first struck in 1916. And here's this example of a Walking Liberty Half Dollar. This one is dated 1942, and this Walking Liberty Half Dollars were struck from 1916 until 1947. The model for that design was a woman by the name of Audrey Munson. We actually have a little documentary on Audrey Munson. And it's considered one of the most beautiful renditions of liberty in the history of United States coinage. Now, the reverse of the American Silver Eagle is what we refer to as the famous Heraldic Eagle. And it was designed by the last chief engraver of the United States Mint, John Mercanti. Now, this Heraldic Eagle reverse was first used in the late 1700s. The very first United States silver dollars were struck in 1794. Here's the first year of the very first silver dollar, 1794, and it had what we call the small eagle reverse. And then the following year, they changed the reverse to what we would now refer to as the Heraldic Eagle. And that was struck until the early 1800s. And I have an actual coin from the early 1800s with the Heraldic Eagle reverse. Sasha's going to show you the obverse of the coin. This coin is dated 1802. Has some light wear. It's really a beautiful example. It has some very attractive toning for an early silver dollar, dated 1802. And when we flip it over, we see this Heraldic Eagle reverse. And this is the basic eagle that John Mercanti used as his design for the American Silver Eagle. Now, folks, the demand for this new American Silver Eagle is going to be historic. There'll, again, be so many new collectors. So imagine in the years ahead, all these millions of collectors who want to build sets of American Silver Eagles. what they're going to find is that the rarest examples were those American Silver Eagles struck in the earliest years of the series, from 1986 into the early 2000s. Those are going to be referred as the key dates because it's in those earliest years when the mint really did not have the quality production, the technology available that they have today. When the mint strikes coins today, especially proof American Silver Eagles, they really are state-of-the-art. You buy a proof American Silver Eagle today, and it's usually going to be a proof 69. Many times it'll come back a proof 70, which represents perfection, the highest possible quality. That's a coin that's flawless under high magnification. And a large percentage of the proof American Silver Eagles struck today are of that quality. But back in the first 20 years, most of your proof coins were flawed. I'd like you to take a look at this proof set that I have for you today, folks, of the American Silver Eagles, the complete heraldic eagle set, every year struck in proof from 1986 through 2020 in proof 69 Ultra Cameo. Every coin has been reviewed by yours truly. The coins are magnificent. They're so beautiful. Again, with that original designed by Adolf Weinman, sharpened by John Mercanti, you can see every detail. When you look at one of these coins, Liberty is so sharply defined in all its detail, much sharper than the original design. He took the basic design from the Walking Liberty half, and given the modern technology, he was able to bring out so much more detail in this design. And these are proof coins. These are the highest possible quality the mint is able to produce given the technology of the day. That's what proof coins represent. I personally am partial to proof coins because of their beauty and their rarity. Now, most American Silver Eagles that have been struck by the U.S. Mint are not proof coins. They're what we refer to as mint state coins. Here is a mint state American Silver Eagle. You can buy one of these from the U.S. Mint for $1 or $2 over whatever spot silver is at. This is examples in 1998. Most mint state Silver Eagles have marks on them. As you can see on this coin, above In God We Trust, you can see some reading marks and some light scratches there on the coin. That's because these coins were struck. They were dumped into bins. If you bought 20 of them, you got them in rolls like this from the U.S. Mint, where they were simply stacked in the rolls, like this. And these coins were struck in very, very large quantities. In fact, when you look at the mintages of all the American Silver Eagles from 1986, the very first year, 1986, mint state American Silver Eagles, the mint struck about 5.4 million coins. Now, that first year of issue, they had a record number of proofs struck, 1.4 million. That's the highest total ever because it was that first year of issue. They haven't reached that number since. The next year, 1987, the mint issued over 11 million coins in mint state, only 904,000 in proof. And you go down through to the 1980s and 1990s, and again, the mint state issues were 3 to 4 million coins on the low end to 10, 11 million coins on the high end. Proof coins, they struck 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 examples. 2000, they only struck 600,000 examples, over 9 million mint state examples. And then in the year 2008, the mint struck a record 20 million examples in mint state, while only 700,000 examples in proof. 2009, there was an explosion in silver. The demand for silver coins was off the charts. The U.S. Mint struck over 30 million mint state silver American Eagles. And they ran out of silver for the proofs, and so they didn't even strike proofs in 2009. And then they resumed in 2010, 34 million, 40 million, 33 million in mint state condition. Proofs have been in the hundreds of thousands. Making a proof coin requires a lot more work than making a mint state coin. These proof coins that you're looking at, folks, the technology, the craftsmanship involved, the labor involved. First of all, to make a proof die, they take the finest dyes and they get a special polishing treatment until those dyes have this beautiful two-toned cameo effect. And they take the finest coin blanks, they give them a special treatment as well, a polishing treatment. And then they slowly feed the blanks into the die. And they strike them at least twice under higher pressure to bring out every possible detail of the design. And then most importantly, once struck, they're individually handled. They're not allowed to abrade with any other coins, like the mint state examples. And these proof coins, to ensure that you get the state of the art, the proof dies are changed much more frequently than the mint state dies. A mint state die might strike tens of thousands of coins before they replace it. A proof die may only strike a few hundred coins before it's replaced with a brand new die, to ensure that every coin you get is a beautiful deep mirror cameo. So it's very labor intensive, it's a lot of work. In fact, if you were to order a proof coin from the US Mint, the cost right now is around $60 to order a proof American Silver Eagle, where again, a mint state example with silver right now around $24, $25 an ounce. A mint state example might cost you $1 or $2 over the cost of the silver, because again, there isn't the work and labor involved in making these mint state coins. So the proof coins are really special. At the same time, they're a lot rarer in high-grade condition than the mint state coins. When you look at the number of mint state coins that have been graded in 6-9 condition compared to the proofs, you can see here that first year, 1986, you had 161,000 mint state Silver Eagles graded in 6-9 condition, only 42,000 of the proofs. But then you go to the later years in the proofs. 1987, only 27,000, only 19,000 in 1988 and 1989. Some years, 1991, only 17,000. For a lot of those early years, there were 10 times more coins graded in mint state 69 than there were in proof 69. It's not until you get into the later years, when the proof making was transferred to the West Point facility, when the quality really began to improve, when you saw more proof coins in really high-grade condition. It's these earliest years you're looking at, folks, that are highlighted in red, that are the key dates in the series. In these earliest years, again, the mint in those earliest years struck proof coins first at the San Francisco Mint from 1986 to 1992, so you see the S Mint mark there. And then from 1993 to 2000, they struck the American Silver Eagles in proof at the Philadelphia Mint. And then in 2001, they switched to the West Point Mint. And that's when the quality really began to improve. But in those earliest years, I've got some examples from those earliest years. These were some of the quality control problems. Even though you had really low mintages. Here's a 1994 set. This is how a proof set was issued from the US Mint when you ordered one. It came in a very nice box, kind of a velvet box here, and you opened it up. It's encapsulated for protection, okay? But you look at this proof coin, and you could see white spotting all along the perimeter and in the fields of the coin. A lot of that is due to incomplete, improper washing of the coin blanks. A lot of time there was a soap residue left on the coin blanks that was not properly cleaned or washed from the blank when that blank went into the die. And when that blank went into the die with that soap residue left on the blank, the die pressure, when you had over 200 tons of die pressure coming down to strike that coin, that residue struck into the surface of the coin. And so you had so many of these American Silver Eagles. Here's another one. This was from the early years at the West Point Mint. You still have these problems on occasion, even at the West Point Mint. Here's one. This is a 2003. And you could see the spotting on that coin in back of Liberty. I'll show you one more. Here's a 1987 San Francisco issue. A lot of spotting in back of Liberty. And then you had customers or clients, collectors who would order these coins from the mint. They'd see the spotting and they would try to remove it. They would try, some would actually try to scrub that spotting off the coin, and in the process, they would hairline, actually absolutely destroy the coin. Here's a 1997 that's been harshly cleaned in the owner's attempt to remove that spotting. You know, the coin's basically, at this point, just worth the silver. You know, it's destroyed. And that's the problem with so many of these early proof coins. Now, folks, this is the time to acquire this incredible set in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. You've got these early dates. Take a look at this set. These are hand-selected. Now is the time to acquire these while we're able to get these key dates. These key dates, especially the S mints and the P mints, are getting so difficult to find in the condition you see them in. We have the entire set, folks, for $96.91 a coin. Think about that, $96.91 a coin for the entire 34 coin set. In other words, $3,295 for the entire Heraldic Eagle set from 1986 to 2000. Now is the time to acquire these sets while you can still get these early key dates for such a collector-friendly price. And there's a 94P. Look at that. They only struck 372,000 examples. Only 18,000 have been certified in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. And folks, you're getting the finest 69 Ultra Cameos. This is all about buying coin and not the holder. Again, I review every example to make sure it's a Proof 69. A Proof 69, folks, is a coin that looks flawless when it's inspected by the grader at the grading service. The highest possible grade you can get on one of these coins is Proof 70. Proof 70, or Mint State 70, represents perfection under high magnification. These Proof 69s, when the graders get one of these coins, what that basically represents is a coin that, under initial inspection with their naked eye, looks flawless. They then pull the coin aside and study it under higher magnification. And if under that higher magnification they find a flaw, it gets a grade of Proof 69. If under that higher magnification it's still flawless, it then gets a grade of Proof 70, or MS 70. Now, MS 70s, Proof 70s go for moon money, folks. Here's just a few examples of some Mint State coins that have sold over the years in 70 condition. A 1999, just that one coin, sold for over $27,000. A 1988 sold for almost $10,000. This is what it sold for in auction. A 1990 sold for over $13,000. This last one, 1991, MS-70 sold for $34,500 in auction for those Mint State examples. And here we have Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. This is the perfect grade and the perfect price point. $3,295 for the entire set. And it's available on the 2-payment option These sets are getting so difficult to assemble in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo. The Proof sets are at least 10 times more difficult to assemble than the Mint State sets because of the low mintages and all those quality control issues you have in these early dates in the series. When you find these early dates, the first year of issue, the 1986, that's a fair market value. This is a dealer with 100% positive feedback, $225. Again, that's one of the most common dates in the series that has the highest mintage. It's $225. But then when you get to a tougher date, here's a 1993. This is one of the lowest mintage dates in the series, with a mintage of only 405,000 coins. $1,000 for that coin alone. That's a PNG dealer, okay? Really a top dealer in the country. $1,000 for a 1993 and 6.9 Deep Cameo, which is PCGS's equivalent to the NGC Ultra Cameo designation. So it's the same grade. 6.9 Ultra Cameo for $1,000. Again, it's an early key date, low mintage. Another early key date, 1994, one of the lowest mintages of all. Certainly from that early era, only 372,000 examples were struck. And here's a Proof 69, $1,000, again, with a dealer with virtually 100% positive feedback. So just those 3 coins alone, you're over $2,200. Here's the next year, 1995P. Very, very tough date, $300. Here's a 99P, 549,000 struck, $200. Here's an individual selling the 32 coin set, which goes from 1986 to 2018. Again, we have the complete set from 1986 to 2020. And they want, for that 32 coin set, $39.99, $4,000. Mint State sets, here's a Mint State set from 1988 to 2005. Again, the Mint State examples are not as hard to get at MS69 as the proofs. Here's a Mint State set for $3,500 that goes only from 1988 to 2005. There is so much potential in these early year American Silver Eagles. So to get this Heraldic Eagle set now is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a small window of opportunity to acquire top-quality, eye-appealing rarities for under $100 a coin. Put half down today, $1,647.50, and we'll hold one of these sets for you and pay the balance in 30 days. Folks, do yourself a favor, just get one of these sets while we have them. They're not going to get any cheaper at $32.95 a set. This is a no-brainer. I hope you take advantage of it. An incredibly beautiful set, the American Silver Eagle Heraldic Eagle 34 coin collection for only $3,295. Thank you for watching. Welcome back. Rick Tomaska, your host here. I gave a presentation recently on the American Silver Eagle set with the Heraldic Eagle reverse from 1986 to 2020. A historic set in Proof 69 Ultra Cameo that we have for only $3,295. It's an incredible opportunity. And it's a really buy it now opportunity because this is a set that's growing by leaps and bounds in popularity. And it's most important because in the year 2021, the Mints announced that it's going to have a new reverse for the American Silver Eagle. And just last week, they unveiled the new reverses, one they'll be using for the American Gold Eagle and one for the American Silver Eagle. They're going to be beautiful designs. Folks, these series are incredibly popular. The American Silver Eagles is not just popular among new collectors, but so many dealers I've known for 30, 35 years who specialized in Morgan dollars and the finest Morgan dollar collections, who have been calling me for these finest American Eagles. And they especially are attracted to the proof examples. Now, the vast majority of American Silver Eagles that are struck, I'd say, probably about 95% of the American Eagles that are struck are the Mint State variety. These coins are struck off of regular dies. The dies don't receive any kind of special preparation, any kind of special polishing. The coins are struck once, they're dumped into bins. If you order them from the Mint in quantity, they come in rolls. The coins can be acquired from the Mint for just a couple dollars over the value of the silver content. The proof coins, on the other hand, are struck in very limited numbers. It's a lot of work creating a proof coin. A proof coin is meant to represent the state of the art, the finest possible quality the Mint's able to produce given the technology of the day. The Mint's been striking proof coins now since the early 1800s, but it's over the last 40 years or so when they've really perfected the art of proof making, where they take these dies and they polish them until they have a mirror-like perfection in the fields. And the devices have an intense frosted cameo effect. And they slowly feed the blanks into the die and they strike the blank at least twice under higher pressure so that every detail of that design is struck into the coin as the Mint intended. And most importantly, the coins are individually handled once struck. They're not allowed to abrade with any other coins. And now these dies, these proof dies, at the slightest hint of wear are then replaced. They may have only struck a few hundred examples, but if they are showing any sign of wear, they're immediately replaced with a brand new die. Unlike the Mint State dies, which may strike tens of thousands of coins before they're replaced. So it's a very labor-intensive process, and they're struck in very limited numbers. Proof examples, when you look at these coins and compare a proof American Silver Eagle to a Mint State American Silver Eagle, it's night and day. Now, folks, when we look at these mintage figures, I never bothered to add up the entire mintages for the Mint State and proof ASCs. But if you added up all the Mint State ASCs, it'd probably come to somewhere around 500 million coins over the entirety of the series. For the entire proof ASE series, I think you're probably looking at somewhere around 20, 25 million coins total for the entire proof ASE series. You can see a lot of dates there where they only struck a few 100,000 coins. I mean, they struck as many coins for the entire proof ASE series as you look at some of the later dates in the Mint State series where they struck more coins in 1 year in the later dates there. You know, where they struck 30, 34 million, 40 million coins in some years in the Mint State series, more in 1 year than for the entire proof series. So right there, that makes these proof ASCs really special. And to get a set in 6.9 Ultra Cameo for $32.95 is they're not going to get any cheaper, folks. I mean, if you can swing one of those sets for $32.95, now is the time to acquire them. What I have here in this presentation, I only have a few of these sets, is the ultimate. I have a handful of sets in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. And folks, I'll tell you, I have so many Morgan dollar specialists who call me on a regular basis looking for these coins in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. And they have a lot of experience in silver dollars, in Morgan silver dollars, piece dollars, and they've handled them for decades. And they know that there are a lot of coins that decades ago they could have acquired for so much less than what the coins are going for today. And they see that taking place in these proof ASCs. These coins, Proof 70 Ultra Cameo, folks. Now, to give you an idea of the difficulty of these coins, first of all, they're all NGC. Every coin is NGC, and every coin has an Everest Selections seal on it. The Everest Selections seal means that I have reviewed every coin so that it is flawless to the naked eye. A flawless, perfect coin. And that's so very, very important because there are coins out there in 70 holders that are obviously not flawless. And I've got a couple examples that Sasha's going to show you. They happen to be Mid-State American Silver Eagles. One's graded by NGC, one's graded by PCGS, so this is nonpartisan. And you can see the MS-70, if we can get a close-up shot of it, has some toning developed around the rim, and there's a little spotting in the fields. And if we flip it over, what does that look like? Some really serious toning issues on the reverse, and yet it's in an MS-70 holder. And then you've got the coin to the right, graded by PCGS, in an MS-70 holder, and you can see some obvious spotting in the fields there. It's very important that you know every coin has been reviewed by yours truly so that the quality in the holder matches the grade on the holder. And I'm offering this set today basically at the same prices I offer these coins to other dealers at. Now the coins you see right here, if you look at what they've sold for in auctions over the years, and I'm just going to go over a handful of dates. This has got to be a short presentation because, again, I only have a handful of these complete sets in 70 because of the early dates. It's the early S mints and the early P mints and the early West Point mints that are really the rarest, toughest to get in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition. And we're going to go through a few of these comps real quickly. The first year of issue, 1986, there's one that sold in auction for $29.90, just the one coin. Here's a 1987. Sold for $27.60. The next year of issue, there's a 1988, over $2,000. Here's a 1991, over $1,600. 1992, $1,380. That's what it sold in auction for. These are auction realized prices, folks, for the most part. There's a 1993 that sold for over $4,600. I'm going to show you the PCGS and NGC pops in just a second so you'll understand why these go for such premiums. Here's a 1994, $3,250. Key date. These are the early key dates, folks. That's why they go for such premiums. A 1996 that sold at auction for $920. A 97 that sold for $1,044. A 98 that sold for $1,782. A 99 that sold for $1,400. First year of the West Point issue, 2001, that sold for $4,830. I have sold the entire West Point Heraldic Eagle set from 2001 to 2020, folks, for under $3,000 for the entire set. And yet you see that first year of issue, which sold for in auction for over $4,830. Now those coins that you saw, those were just 12 dates in the series. 12 tough dates, but 12 dates out of the 34. And it comes to $28,637 just for those 12 dates. But again, let's look at the pops. These are the tough dates. And you'll notice in those early years, the NGC coins in 70, how much tougher they are to get in 70 Ultra Cameo than the PCGS graded examples. The populations are about half those of the PCGS examples in those early years. You have dates like the 1991S, only 1,356 graded, folks. 1,356 graded. 92S, only 1,683. 93P, key year at the Philadelphia Mint, only 1,300 graded. 94, virtually identical, about 1,300 coins. Then you get to that West Point year, that first year at the West Point Mint. That's the lowest pop for the West Point Mint, 5,900 coins. As you go into 2003, 2004, 2005, you see more 70s as the quality control and the technology at the West Point Mint improved to the point where more and more coins were absolutely flawless that were struck at the West Point Mint. So you get to the last years at the West Point Mint, and you see populations where they have certified 24,000 in 2011, 32,000 in 2014, 2020, that just came out, and they've already certified 61,000 examples. Because again, the quality, the technology at the Mint today, at the West Point Mint, is so advanced that the coins are just outstanding. So, I've got this entire set. The important thing now is with this exploding popularity in the American Silver Eagle series, with the new reverses coming out in 2021, I have the entire Heraldic Eagle set with these early rare dates. These rare dates that are going to be so valuable in the years and decades ahead, folks. This is a ground floor opportunity. I have the entire set for $320.59 a coin. That comes to $10,900. Now, that's a lot of money when you look at, well, $10,900 is a lot of money. But that's for 34 coins in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo, and these are silver dollars with a full ounce of silver. They're much larger than Morgan dollars. Morgan dollars have about 7/10 of an ounce of silver. These American Silver Eagles are the largest silver dollars ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Again, with a full ounce of silver, all in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo, the entire set for $10,900, $320.59 a coin. I have a limited quantity of these. We have a lot of people calling in. Folks, if you can't swing the entire $10,900 amount today, I want everybody who would like to take advantage of this opportunity to be able to do so. And what we've done is extended this opportunity into a 3-payment program. So all you have to do is put 1/3 down today. Call in now. Put 1/3 down today of $3,633.33, and we will hold one of these sets for you. You will be locked in at this price of $10,900. Even if 2 months from now, I have to end up paying $200 or $300 or $400 or $500 more for some of these dates. Because again, some of these early rare dates are getting harder to find by the week. You will be locked in at the $10,900 price. The second payment in 30 days, the final payment in 60 days. But put the 1/3 down now, and we will hold one of these sets for you and lock you in at that price, $10,900 for the entire Heraldic Eagle set. Again, if you just tuned in, Mint made a major announcement, and they finally unveiled the new reverses of the American Silver Eagle and American Gold Eagle that will be coming out in the year 2021. So what I have is the Heraldic Eagle set. The original American Silver Eagles with the Heraldic Eagle reverse, struck from 1986 to 2020. And what makes this set so important, it includes those earliest years struck at the San Francisco Mint and the Philadelphia Mint, when the technology was not advanced and perfected like it was today, when it was very rare to get a coin in Proof 69 and extremely rare to get a coin in Proof 70. And here I have these sets, just a handful of these sets, that includes those earliest years, every date in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. And I have the entire set for only $10,900. Again, that comes out to $320.59 a coin. It's available on the 3-payment option. We have several people calling in. We have a limit on the number of sets that I could offer at this price of $10,900. I've got to cut this presentation now. Again, we cannot oversell this by more than a few sets because of the replacement costs and the difficulty of getting these early dates in Proof 70 Ultra Cameo. So call in now if you can swing the 3rd down, and we'll hold one of these sets and lock you in at that price, $10,900 for the Heraldic Eagle set from 1986 to 2020, the 34-coin collection. Thank you for watching this presentation, folks. This is what I specialize in, folks. This is what I really love to do, to offer you as a collector, from a fellow collector, incredibly eye-appealing coins, the highest possible quality. Every coin personally reviewed by me with my Everest seal on it. Incredibly eye-appealing, top-quality coins with a tremendous rarity for such a collector-friendly price with tremendous, tremendous future potential. So please, call in now. We have a limited number of these sets. There's a limited additional number of these sets that I can assemble at this price. But if you call in now and put your 1/3 down today, you get locked in at that $10,900 price, folks. This is a small, narrow window of opportunity. This is a set, when these 2021 American Silver Eagles come out with these new reverses, there'll be so many new collectors who will want to collect these coins, hundreds and thousands of new collectors, and they'll want to collect the entire set. And it's these earliest key dates that will be most in demand and have the greatest value in the years ahead. Thank you for watching.
Is the most monumental period in U.S. numismatic history. When we talk about the American coin renaissance, we're talking about a movement that redesigned all circulating coinage in about a decade. And because of this movement, our country received new coinage that truly represented our American values. But these weren't just coin designs. These were pieces of fine art created by the premier American sculptors of the time. During the American coin renaissance, there were only a handful of gold coin designs made. One of these was the Indian head, designed by Bella Lyon Pratt and used on the quarter eagle and the half eagle. The second and third design, of course, were the iconic St. Gaudens double eagle and his Indian head gold eagle. The remaining coins of the time were struck from silver, copper, and nickel. In my opinion, the best way to represent the classical beauty of American coinage is to depict it in gold. And in 2016, the United States Mint did just that. In order to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the most stunning American coins ever created, the U.S. Mint struck a limited amount of examples in .999 pure gold. These pure gold coin issues included the Mercury dime, the Standing Liberty quarter, and the coin that we have here today, the Walking Liberty half dollar. For me, just hearing that I have the opportunity to own a Walking Liberty design struck from gold is enough to get my attention. But I know some of you guys don't just want a beautiful coin. You also want a rare coin. Well, let me tell you, this coin has both. These half-ounce pure gold 2016 West Point Walking Liberty half dollars have a tiny mintage of just 65,512 coins. Now that rivals some of the rarest coins that I can think of. If you're new to Rare Collectibles TV, one of our biggest priorities is to make sure our viewers are informed. From a coin's rarity to its history, we believe that the most valuable asset we can offer to you as numismatists is information. Let me give you a little bit more background on the American coin renaissance. This movement was really inspired and championed by 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt believed that the United States of America was the greatest country in the world and that our coinage needed to represent that fact. He also believed that truly beautiful art should be accessible by every single American. So what he did was reach out to U.S. Secretary of Treasury Leslie Shaw with this famous letter. My dear Secretary Shaw, I think our coinage is artistically of atrocious hideousness. Would it be possible, without asking the permission of Congress, to employ a man like St. Gaudens to give us a coinage that would have some beauty? Sincerely yours, Theodore Roosevelt. Now, if you couldn't tell from that letter, President Roosevelt was not particularly impressed with our nation's coinage. He knew America was stepping into its role as a global superpower, and he wanted every aspect of American life to showcase that excellence. Roosevelt attempted to enlist the renowned artist Augustus St. Gaudens. But St. Gaudens was very hesitant to work with the U.S. Mint after a horrible experience back in 1892. Essentially, without his permission, the Mint redesigned the reverse of a medal that St. Gaudens had designed. Now just think about that. As an artist, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into a piece of work, and without notice, you see that it's been completely changed. That is not something you do to a commissioned artist, let alone Augustus St. Gaudens, who is known as one of the American greats. So it's not surprising that after that experience, he swore that he would never have anything to do with the U.S. Mint again. Well, eventually, Roosevelt was able to convince St. Gaudens to redesign a large chunk of our circulating coinage. The result of this collaboration created what is known as the most beautiful coin ever to be struck in U.S. history. Unfortunately, St. Gaudens passed away before being able to redesign the remaining coins. As you can imagine, this put Roosevelt and the Mint in a difficult situation. They had no idea who would design the remaining coins, but the ball was already rolling, and the new age of American coins finally had momentum. The Mint started reaching out to other famed artists of the time. Artists like Herman McNeil, who ended up designing the Standing Liberty Quarter, Anthony DeFranchisi, who designed the Peace Dollar, and of course Victor David Brenner, who many of you know designed the Lincoln Cent. These artists stepped up to the plate and they delivered some classic beauty to the American people. The most notable designer of all, aside from Augustus St. Gaudens, was Adolph A. Weinman. Weinman was a widely respected artist who studied under St. Gaudens, the man who inspired the coin renaissance, and under other sculptors like Daniel Chester French, who designed the statue at the Lincoln Memorial. Weinman's sculptures were even used in the Panama Pacific exhibition of 1915, and he even helped to design the famous Penn Station in New York, which I used to travel to every day on my way to and from work. Now, with a resume like that, it's no surprise that the two coins he designed have gone down in history as two of the finest American coins to ever be struck. These two coins are known as the Mercury Dime and, of course, the Walking Liberty Half Dollar. Let's get into the history behind the Walking Liberty design, which in my opinion is the perfect example of American excellence and classic beauty. But this design is so much more than just beauty. It's become a symbol of American perseverance, our tenacity, our ability to succeed even in the most difficult times. The mintage of this iconic coin began in 1916 and lasted for 31 years until 1947. If you look at this 31-year span that the Walking Liberty Half Dollar was minted during, you'll see this was a very trying time in U.S. history, and even in the world. 1916, the first year that this coin was struck, was exactly halfway through World War I, known as the War to End All Wars. Then we had a short period of the Roaring 20s where everyone was getting used to this new world peace, and suddenly we get the stock market crash of 1929, followed by the Great Depression. And then by the 40s, World War II was already raging. This was an immense time of despair in American history. During this time, the American people had the Walking Liberty half dollar, one of the most hopeful designs to ever be struck. The obverse showcases a glorious, full-body rendition of Lady Liberty, wrapped in the stars and stripes of the American flag. She strides forwards towards the rising sun of a new day with an outstretched arm that beckons in hope and freedom. It's just truly a stunning coin design, an inspiration, a guiding light. It's almost as if this design was struck specifically to help the nation through those horrible times. Now in the reverse, we see a valiant eagle perched atop a hill. The details, the spread wings, and that glare of determination are absolutely beautiful. Again, another design telling us that whatever comes our way, meet it head on with bravery and resolve. This coin design has become such an important aspect of American history that it was even brought back as the obverse of the American Silver Eagle, which started in 1986. Then, 30 years later, the Mint did something unheard of. They struck this remarkable design in pure gold for the coin's 100-year anniversary in 2016. Truly, any example of the Walking Liberty design is worth having in your collection, but this example, struck from a half an ounce of pure .999 fine gold, is like nothing I've ever seen. It is just an absolutely unbelievable beauty that everyone should own. Now, let's talk about grade. For those of you who don't know, coins are graded on the Sheldon scale. The lowest grade a coin can receive is a 1, while the highest grade that a coin can receive is a 70. A coin is only considered to be in mint state if it has a minimum grade of 60. The 2016 half-ounce gold Walking Liberty half dollars we have today are graded a flawless SP 70. An SP, or specimen coin, doesn't fall into either mint state or proof categories. Instead, it's kind of like a mix between the two methods of manufacture. These coins are struck specifically for collectors and not meant to be circulated. But like proof coins, they're struck multiple times to ensure a fully detailed coin. But they don't have those frosted devices and mirrored fields like we're accustomed to seeing on proof coins. What you see on a specimen coin oftentimes is a more matte or burnished finish like we have here. A coin can only receive a perfect score of 70 if it's inspected under 5 times magnification without displaying any blemishes. That means that these coins are flawless and free of any imperfections. These are just the epitome of quality. And as the only gold Walking Liberty coins in existence, they are truly stunning pieces to add to a collection in this perfect grade. Now, you're probably thinking that between this coin's low mintage of just 65,512 coins and it being struck from a half ounce of pure gold, that it's going to break the bank. But look, our philosophy here at Rare Collectibles TV is to find as many coins as we can and get them for the best deal possible. And that way, we can pass the savings on to you at a collector-friendly price. And I'm excited to tell you that we were able to get a great price on these 100th anniversary 2016 W Walking Liberty half-ounce gold coins. Today, we have these stunning gold Walking Liberties in perfect SP 70 condition for the low, low price of just $1,995. And we even have a convenient 2-payment option. Just put half down of $997.50 and we'll hold one of these numismatic treasures for you in our vault until you pay the balance in 30 days. With gold approaching $2,000 an ounce nowadays, these coins practically pay for themselves. But you're not just getting the gold value when you add this coin to your numismatic collection. You're getting this coin's tremendous numismatic value. Now, let's talk about rarity here. There's two types of rarity. One type is condition rarity, and the other is absolute rarity. When it comes to certain series like the Morgan dollar, a lot of it is about condition rarity. Condition rarity is when a coin is only rare because of the high condition that it's in. This is the case for many Morgan dollars because the series was struck in the millions for the majority of the issues. So since most of these coins were circulated, there's plenty of issues like the 1884S that can be a $40, $50 coin in lower grades, but can be worth tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in mint state condition. On the other hand, there are coins with absolute rarity. Absolute rarity is when so few coins were struck that finding an example in any condition at all is incredibly difficult to do. Let me give you a few examples that are comparable to the coins we have today. First, we have the 1921S Walking Liberty half dollar, one of the famous key dates with a low mintage of only 548,000 coins. Even in mint state 62 condition, a 1921S is already worth about $20,000. That's got a mintage of almost 10 times as high as the coins we have today. Here's an example that's actually uncirculated but cleaned, so a damaged coin. Your coin with not a lot of wear but has been cleaned and therefore damaged. This coin is almost $15,000. All right, here's another Adolf Weinman design, the 1916D Mercury dime. That's another low mintage coin, only 264,000 coins struck. Even in mint state 60, it's a $10,000 coin. Here's one that's not even mint state 60. This is an AU, about uncirculated details, and you can see it's already about $10,000 in that condition. So, you know, in mint state 60, 61, 62, well over $10,000 a coin. In the highest possible grade, this can be a $100,000, $200,000 coin. Then we have the 1916 Standing Liberty quarter. This is a famous low mintage rarity of only 52,000 coins. Here's what these bring, even in low grades. Here's one in fine 12. It's pretty worn, pretty dark. That coin over $5,600. And then here's one in poor 1, the absolute lowest possible grade coin can be graded without any damage or anything. Still about $2,000. Worn, so worn down that it's barely recognizable. You can't even see the date, but they can tell that it's a 1916 coin. And it's still almost $2,000. The mintage of this coin is a little bit lower than the 2016 W Gold Walking Liberty with a mintage of 65,512, but the mintages are really close in terms of absolute rarity. And when looking at the 1916 Standing Liberty, even the lowest possible grade here, like I said, it can sell for thousands of dollars. And when you get close to mint state, the price increases exponentially. You know, 1916 Standing Liberty quarter is worth so much in any grade because of its absolute rarity. Now, keep in mind, these coins I showed you aren't even gold. These are not even struck from gold. They're struck from silver, and they're still worth this much. Now, with gold around $2,000 an ounce and silver, you know, in the $20 to $25 range, you can see that these coins aren't being valued for their precious metal. These are being valued for their tremendous numismatic value. And with a mintage of just 65,512 coins, these 2016 half-ounce gold Walking Liberties offer a tremendous numismatic value. So not only does this gold Walking Liberty have comparable mintages to these incredible numismatic rarities, but it's also struck from gold, a metal with much higher value historically than the small amount of silver that's in a Standing Liberty quarter or a Mercury dime or a Walking Liberty half dollar, or any of these examples I showed you. And for just $1,995, or 2 payments of just $997.50, these coins offer a remarkable amount of numismatic value at a very collector-friendly price. You know, here's some key date Walking Liberty half dollars. I want to show you from the original Walking Liberty half dollar series in silver from the the teens and the 20s, some of the rarest ones in the series. The mintages are much higher than you see for this 2016, for this gold version of the coin. 2 million, million, 1.5 million, 500. These ones are only about 200,000. But then you look at what these coins are valued at because of their numismatic rarity today. So as you see, all these coins on this list, much higher mintages than this coin. The lowest ones on this list are still more than triple, and the highest ones on this multiples 10, 20, 30 times higher. Here's a 1923S. This is a coin with a mintage over 2 million, not even in mint state condition, and it's over $3,000, $3,300 almost. Here's a 1919D, coin with a mintage over 1 million coins. This is a $5,000 coin. Again, not even in mint state, and it's a 5,000 plus coin. Here's a 1919S. Again, a mintage. This is a mintage of about 1.5 million coins. You've got a $5,000 coin. Again, not even in mint state, not even uncirculated. Close to it, but not even uncirculated. And they go up exponentially when you get to mint state. 1920D, mintage of over 1.5 million coins. Again, almost $3,000 for a coin that's been cleaned, a damaged coin, an impaired coin. And it's still almost $3,000 for that coin. Here's a 1921S. This is about uncirculated. It's kind of splotchy, a coin that does not have the best eye appeal, still over $7,000. A 21P, this is a coin, about 250,000 of these made. So, about 4 times more of these 1921Ps were made than this gold 2016 coin. This is about a $6,800 coin here in this kind of condition. We got another cleaned coin, damaged coin, not really the type of coin collectors want. Still $3,000 because of the tremendous numismatic rarity. Here's another 21D here. This is a coin, mintage of over 200,000 of these made. Very fine 35, a well-circulated coin, over $2,000. Again, all of these coins you can see valued in the thousands and thousands of dollars. Not even in high grade, some of them damaged because of the just numismatic absolute rarity. They offer tremendous numismatic value. Now let me compare to a couple of more recent coins. Gold coins from this series, like the mintages I want to show you of the gold Mercury dime, the gold Standing Liberty quarter, some other modern mint issues here. And you see just how few of these coins were struck and just how few have certified perfect mint state specimen 70 here. The 2016 Mercury dime, much higher mintage, little bit higher population. 2009, they made an ultra high relief gold double eagle. This coin, over 100,000 of those struck. Standing Liberty quarter they made, about 50% more of those were made. They made a 2014 gold Kennedy half dollar, 73,000 struck. You get down to the bottom though, you see of these recent similar type coins commemorating these historic classic coin designs that we know and love here as collectors. This one, the lowest mintage of all these different coins, and by far the lowest population that have been graded by NGC in a perfect 70 grade. These are popular coins because of the rarity. They're all stunning coins, but let me show you that ultra high relief coin, over $4,000 for that in a 69 grade. Here's the Kennedy half dollar, over $2,400 in a 70 grade. And here's our Walking Liberty, the coin that is available right now for just $19.95 or 2 easy payments of $997.50. You see this coin elsewhere. See these all the time advertised for right around $3,000, $29.95. Here's a great deal, $27.95. We have these today because of the deals we work. We always want to get you the best price. We buy a deal, we pass the savings on to you. We want to give you the best numismatic value at the most collector-friendly price possible. And if you're looking for a stunning coin that offers tremendous numismatic value on top of its classic beauty, then this 100th anniversary 2016 W half-ounce gold Walking Liberty half dollar is the perfect coin for your collection. As one of the most significant American coin designs to ever be struck, Weinmann's Walking Liberty is an absolute necessity for any collection. Lady Liberty striding forward with her arm outstretched, beckoning in that hopeful sun of a new day. It's just such a symbolic coin, and it was there with the citizens of our country through the most difficult of times. This design went through World War I, the stock market crash of 1929, the Great Depression, and World War II. This is a truly sentimental coin design that is symbolic of American perseverance and success. And this specific example is struck from pure gold. I have never seen anything like this, and if I had to pick between the classic silver design and this gold one, I know it would be an extremely difficult choice. Then when you think about the mintage, the absolute rarity, and the numismatic value that this coin offers are tremendous, on par with some of the greats in American numismatics. This is the perfect coin to purchase and put away. We got lucky with this deal, and it can be part of your numismatic collection for only 2 payments of $997.50. Save this coin, pass it on to your kids, make it a family heirloom, make it part of your legacy. This design will likely never be struck in gold again. That's it. Just 65,512 examples of this beautiful design struck in pure gold. I really hope you're able to take advantage of this unbelievable numismatic opportunity today. This is a stunning American coin with a remarkably low mintage and endless potential. I'm Jack McNamara with Rare Collectibles TV. Thanks for watching.
You know, the longest running coin series in the United States of America is the Lincoln Penny. It was first issued in 1909, and the original intent of the Lincoln Penny was to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. He was born in 1809. So in 1909, the Lincoln cent was born. Well, it was a beloved design, designed by Victor David Brenner, and it stuck. And it has become the longest running coin series in the history of the United States of America since 1909. In 1959, the reverse of the Lincoln penny was changed from the wheat back to the memorial back that we all know today. And because of its longevity and because of a couple of really rare coins, namely, let me just mention the 1909 SVDB, the very first coin, the coin that started it all. That coin had a mintage of nearly 500,000, 484,000. And the reason why the mintage was so small is that it was discovered or realized shortly into the run of the coin that it contained the maker's initials right on the coin, Victor David Brenner. And so that was changed, but what remained was a classic issue that everybody wants to get their hands on. Now, though the coin has been struck since 1909 continuously, there had never been, in all those literally billions and billions, hundreds of billions of coins that were issued, there had never been a reverse proof. Now, a reverse proof is something pretty new to the U.S. Mint. The very first reverse proof coin was done in 2006. So it's relatively a new method of manufacture that the Mint has employed on a very few select coins. since 2006, but never before on the Lincoln penny. Now that would be enough to get collectors of the Lincoln cent scrambling to the doorstep of the U.S. Mint to get the latest issue, which was a 2018 San Francisco Struck 50th anniversary Lincoln cent. Now, this cent comes out of the world-famous reverse-proof set that was issued to commemorate 50 years of striking coins at the San Francisco Mint. Began in 1968. So many collectors in America started collecting the Lincoln cent by putting coins in to individual albums, trying to get a complete date run. Pretty tough to do, especially for the early date coins. Now, when you take a look at all the Lincoln cents that have been issued since 1909, you can see that it's pages and pages of coins. And, you know, I'll give you a look at these, but what really is important is the very last page. Because the last page contains the Lincoln cents, both in proof and business strikes, that are world famous for being the lowest mintages of them all. And I want you to notice the 2018 San Francisco reverse proof. That mintage is crazy low, 200,000. In fact, you have to go all the way back to the 1950s and spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on one of the proof coins that were issued that have a lower mintage than the 2018 reverse proof. Now, the crazy thing about this was that the U.S. Mint announced in advance how few coins they were going to strike. We were prepared for this about a year in advance. We took every measure possible to get as many sets as we could so we could get these great coins out of these sets. And if you've watched our network, you'll note that we feature the coins from this set in some of the highest grade attainable. But none is harder to get than a Lincoln penny in red color in a perfect grade. Take a look at what we've got here. Every one of these are 2018 San Francisco Struck reverse proof red Lincoln cents. That reverse you see is a reverse that was employed first in 2010. And the designer of that reverse is Lendell Bass. And she's a great artist, and she won a competition and was selected to actually redesign one of the most classic coins in the history of the United States of America. And her reverse with the Union Shield was timeless from the first day that it was seen. And you know, the shield represents Lincoln's efforts, which were successful, to preserve the Union. In fact, that shield that you see there is actually emblematic, and much of the design was taken from the buttons on the Union soldiers' uniforms. Complete with, you know, representing Lincoln, representing the Union soldiers' buttons, the curve of the shield and the banner, all emblematic, all stating the successful efforts of Lincoln to preserve the Union. And that, my friends, since 2010, is the reverse of the Lincoln penny. So there weren't many changes done to the Lincoln cent. It was 50 years before the first change was made in 1959. One of the reasons why so many collectors are trying to get their hands on as many of these coins as possible is the fact that one of the most famous coins of all is the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, mintage of 484,000. And that is kind of the bellwether, the barometer by which all other Lincoln cents are compared to. So when you have a cent that has a mintage that is half of what an 09 SVDB was, less than half, at 200,000, and a first ever, the only time it was ever done as a reverse proof, it's really a monumental occasion. I'm not the only one who's noticed. Here is a coin that was just issued. Same grading service, a little bit different of a label, and where the market's at on that coin. One of the things that we're able to really do around here is command a deal. And that's why when you watch our show, one of the things we're famous for is duplicating the quality that others have at a price that nobody can touch. And that is really a recipe for a collector's dream come true. Here's a Proof 70 2017 struck at San Francisco. I mean, there's no comparison mintage-wise. This mintage is so much higher than the 2018. But look at the coin, $155. Because when you talk about the Lincoln penny in its perfect condition, everybody wants one. Collectors of Lincoln cents, going back to the very beginning, want every recent issue in a perfect grade as well. Here is a 2011 from a proof set. There's well over 1 million of these, more like 1.5 million of these coins that were issued. $125. 2013 in a proof 70 for almost $300, $299.95. And here's the coin that really started it all when it comes to Lincoln pennies, the 09 SVDB. Now this coin was actually just a 1-year commemorative. Its mintage was really low because of the fact that the maker's initials were prominently displayed on the reverse, which is a big no-no when it comes to coin designing. This really is kind of the coin that all other Lincoln pennies are judged by. And I found one, and I deliberately wanted to show you this coin right here because it is damaged, bent, and grading at the lower end of the scale is a very good 8. And a damaged coin in an 09 SVDB is still going to bring over $600. You know, when coins are first issued, it can be the greatest time to get in on a new issue. Now, sometimes the prices get completely crazy, and we're very cognizant of that. But, you know, when it comes to a classic coin like the Lincoln penny in a rendition that's never been seen before with a mintage that is completely unheard of, I mean, again, folks, you have to go back to 1953 for a Lincoln proof cent to get a mintage this low. And those coins from those years where the mintages beat this mintage here of the 2018S, I mean, the price is at many times out of everybody's reach. They are so elusive. As the years are going to go by, don't forget those coins, when they first were issued, they were a lot easier to get. They were plentiful at the time. And right now, I wouldn't say this coin is plentiful because there's been so much hoopla about it. And today, word spreads so much quicker than it ever did in the past. It's almost instantaneous how word can spread to millions of collectors. So when you have a mintage of only 200,000 that's capped, that's known from the very beginning, and by the way, I checked the mintage figures and they actually came in a little bit under that. They came in at 199,112. That makes this coin one of the lowest mintage Lincoln cents ever issued. So, you know, about the best price I could find there was about $130. So I'm really delighted to be able to offer this coin in a reverse proof 70, the highest grade attainable, for $89.95. There are not a lot of these coins out there. Most of the coins are in the hands of collectors already. On the very first day of ordering, there was a 24-hour period where limits were very, very low on the amount of these coins that could be ordered. The very first few hours, over 114,000 of the cap of the 200,000 were issued. Those all went into collectors' hands because it was only one per order. One customer per order. Couldn't order multiples. They are dispersed like no other coin I have seen. One of the greatest things in collecting Lincoln pennies is the original red color. One of the other greatest things, if you can find it, is a coin in the absolute highest grade attainable. And in this case, this coin is absolutely perfect. It is a proof 70, the highest grade you can get. And it's the first ever and only reverse proof Lincoln penny. It has a unique reverse. And I think if anything was going to replace the memorial back, it's this coin right here. I mean, it really is. It says so much. It fills up so much of the coin. It's so prominent, and it's so bold in its statement of Lincoln's desire above all else to preserve the Union. Now, Lincoln is, of course, maybe the most beloved president of all, even more beloved than George Washington, the father of our country, because at a time when we could have easily have perished as a nation during the Civil War, Lincoln managed to keep it all together. And that is a testament, as time has gone on, that he's been recognized for undoubtedly. So it is only fitting that the reverse of this coin should be all about Lincoln, all about Lincoln's representation of his desire above all else to keep the Union together. But I don't think any coin really tugs at the heartstrings of all collectors, because almost every collector I know, even if today they are collecting pan-packed $50 golds at $100,000 and $200,000 a coin, don't have a soft spot in their heart for the Lincoln penny. Well, here is an opportunity to get the only one of its kind, the lowest mintage Lincoln penny, for sure, folks, in not just recent memory. There has never been a reverse proof Lincoln penny in a perfect 70 grade, and on top of that, the only one ever issued in reverse proof. And we have it for $89.95. You know, it wasn't that long ago that we had the designer of this coin on the show. And I got to talk with her, and you really got the feeling of the love she had for Lincoln, of the admiration. And again, the feeling that she had when she was chosen to go down in history as redesigning one of the most popular coins ever issued by the U.S. Mint, the Lincoln penny, the responsibility that was on her shoulders to do that. I think she came through with flying colors. So this coin is a first of its kind, first ever reverse proof, a mintage unknown amongst Lincoln cents. You got to go way back in history to find anything this rare. And a price, ladies and gentlemen, for today. Because I got to tell you, there are so many coins that we think about that we all go back and say, man, I wish I would have when I had the chance. The Lincoln penny, the first ever 2018 reverse proof from San Francisco, is that coin. One last time, $89.95 for the ultimate Lincoln cent in a one-year type, the highest grade known to man, a reverse proof 70 red in color. That's the Lincoln cent for the ages. And I want to thank you for watching Rick's U.S. Coin Show and Rare Collectibles TV.
If there were one year I would pick in U.S. proof coins where I could own coins of the greatest possible rarity at the lowest possible price, it's the year 1964. 1964, folks, is a really, really important year because this was the last year proof coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint using those old-fashioned coin technologies. Basically, when they were striking proof coins at the Philadelphia Mint, they were using the same basic technologies as they were in the 1800s. They were striking them at the Philadelphia Mint on 90% silver planchets for the half-dollar, quarter, and dime. After 1964, they switched the proof minting facility to San Francisco. So the next time they made proof coins, they were struck in San Francisco, and the half-dollar no longer was struck on a 90% silver planchet, it was struck on a 40% silver planchet, and the quarter and dime were struck on clad metal with no silver content at all. Nowadays, when you buy proof coins, they really are state-of-the-art. A proof coin, if you're new to collecting, a proof coin is meant to represent the finest possible quality the Mint's able to produce given the technology of the day. Now, originally, proof coins were issued strictly to dignitaries, ambassadors, very important people from the U.S. Mint. I mean, the U.S. Mint has been striking proof coins, folks, since the early 1800s. They're nothing new. Except in those early days, only very, very important people would get a proof coin. It was meant to be presented as a gift, source of pride from our country of this is what we can do with our technology. And so they were struck in very, very small numbers. They might only struck 5 or 10 of a given denomination in any one year. Proof coins were not offered to the general public, where just an average citizen like you or I could buy them until 1858. Now, to make a proof coin, though, the idea has always been the same. They're meant to represent the state of the art, the finest possible quality the Mint's able to produce, given the technology of the day. And so, from the very earliest days, they would take the finest dies and they would polish them to a very high degree. And then they would take the coin blanks and give them a kind of polishing treatment as well. Then slowly feed those blanks into the die and then not strike them once, but at least twice under higher pressure to bring out every possible detail. And then, most importantly, whereas commercial strikes were not struck from highly polished dies, they were struck just once, and they wouldn't use as much die pressure to strike commercial coins for commerce. The coins for commerce, once struck, would be ejected into bins where they would braid with other coins. Proof coins were individually handled. Nowadays, when you get a proof coin, they really are state-of-the-art. And they use state-of-the-art technologies and state-of-the-art packaging. So here's a proof set I bought, and it's representative of 1991. You know, over the last, I'd say, 30 years or so, since 1990, the Mint really has perfected the art of making proof coins with advanced technologies and advanced packaging and preservation. So you get your set today. You can only get them directly from the U.S. Mint, and they use inert plastic. So that here you have a set that's 1991, and the coins look as pristine, as beautiful as the day they were struck. 1991. So these are great, the modern proof coins, and we offer them on our show here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. But the one thing is they're not quite as challenging to get in high-grade condition because the technology is so advanced, the packaging is so advanced that they're all really, really great. They struck 3 million of these. Almost all of them would grade either proof 69 or proof 70. That's how advanced the technology is. Here's a set that was issued, again, from the U.S. Mint in 1959. They would ship it third-class insured mail, folks. Third-class insured mail. So you order your set, you get it from the Mint in just a regular envelope, and you open it up, and it came in the cellophane. Now, one of the things about the cellophane, you know, is it's pliable. Okay, so it's pliable. So the cellophane, if you can imagine third-class mail, the cellophane is always abrading against the surface of the coin. Okay, it's always rubbing against it, which creates what we call hairline scratches. They're very, very fine scratches that go into the surface of the coin that lower the grade of the coin. Now, these proof coins, they come from highly polished dies. They truly have a mirror-like finish. And so any kind of abrasion will result in what we call a light hairline scratch. Now, in 1964, though, folks, this is the last year, again, that they were issued from the Philadelphia Mint. So you got your set, and here's a 1964 set. And if you take a look here, each coin is in its own compartment, which was nice. So, you know, they wouldn't abrade with one another. But if you look at the half-dollar, look at the spots on the half there. I'm going to cut this out real quickly just so you could take a quick look at this coin. And you see the spotting there. It's a common problem on these silver issues from 1958 to 1964. The quality control back then was not what it is today, especially in the year 1964. 1964 was the first year of the Kennedy half-dollar series. President Kennedy was assassinated in November of 1963. There was a tremendous public clamor for this new Kennedy half-dollar. You have to understand that when President Kennedy was assassinated in November of 1963, it was the first such event to happen in the age of television. So the whole nation was watching as these events unfolded throughout the week. So the whole nation was really fixated on this. And so when the Mint announced that they were offering this new half-dollar with Kennedy's likeness, there was a tremendous, tremendous demand for this coin. And the Mint really rushed the coin into production, and these proof sets were issued in January of 1964. But they really skimped on the quality. And you could see it, so many of these coins are either hairlined or spotted, as you see on this half-dollar here. And this just simply comes from a coin that was really rushed into production. But one of the procedures back in those years was to wash the blanks in a soap solution. Unfortunately, in their haste to get these coins into production, they wouldn't wash all that soap residue off the blank before it went into the die. So that residue that was left on the blank, when that blank went into the die, you had about 200 tons of pressure coming down to strike that coin blank. And at that point, that residue was struck into the coin. It's part of the coin. You can't remove it. You could take a Brillo pad, folks, and rub it, and you'll get a real scratched up, messy-looking, ruined coin, and the spot will still be there. It's in the metal. Now, again, it was not unique to the Kennedy half-dollar. I mean, you would see it on all the other silver issues as well, the quarter and the dime. Here's another example. Take a look at the dime here. 1964. And again, it was unique to the silver issues in 1964. The dime, the quarter, and the half-dollar struck on the 90% silver planchet. You can see that white, we call it milk spots because it looks like milk, but what it is soap residue. And so, the 1964 proof coins, the last coins were the dime, quarter, and half-dollar were struck 90% silver planchet at the old Philadelphia Mint using these old technologies, using this old-fashioned packaging. So to get these coins in exceptional high-grade condition is an extraordinary achievement. What I have today is a small group of some of the finest 1964 year sets in existence. This came from an estate where we acquired over 4,000 1964 proof sets, folks. This estate had been around for over 50 years. And we cherry-picked the finest examples. And we have them in proof 68 and proof 69. Proof 69 is the highest grade you can complete one of these sets in matching condition. They do not exist in proof 70, not a matching set. Not in this early era from the Philadelphia Mint. Nowadays, you know, with today's modern technology, you can make proof 70 sets. Proof 69, back in these early years at the Philadelphia Mint, is Everest. I mean, it is the very peak of quality for these early proof coins. Look at these coins. Every one, the proof 68s are sensational. They are flawless to the eye. I mean, you look at this coin. It is absolutely spectacular. I mean, the only way you're going to detect the slightest flaw in a 6/8 is to get the coin out of the holder, look at it under a strong light with magnification. And then you might find a tiny little hairline somewhere. Otherwise, they're perfect coins. Every one of these proof 68s. Look at these. Absolutely flawless to the eye. And then the Kennedy half-dollar. We've got dealers asking $300 and more for a 1964 Kennedy in proof 68 condition, just for the Kennedy. And those are the 68s. Now the 69s are simply the finest known. Again, there are no Lincoln cents graded by NGC in proof 70, no Jefferson nickels, no Roosevelt dimes, no Kennedy half dollars. This is the ultimate, the highest grade matching set. And as such, they're extremely rare. NGC has only graded 1,700 examples of the Lincoln cent in proof 69 out of an original mintage of 3.9 million. And look at this quarter. Wow. Flawless. And the half, especially the half. NGC's only graded 3,500 examples in proof 69. You see dealers, when they have these early 1964 proof coins, understandably, they want a premium for the coins. They're hard to come by. I mean, the grading and shipping fees alone were going to cost you $40 to $50 a coin just for the grading and shipping fees. There's a 1964 Lincoln, proof 68, $70. There's one for only $60. But here's one for $89, just for the Lincoln cent. Here's a Washington quarter, proof 68, $100. Now the big one, the Kennedy half dollar, that's the big kahuna. I mean, here's one in proof 67, $300, and that's for a proof 67, but we're talking proof 68 here. Well, here's a dealer, he's got a proof 68, he wants $400 for his coin. But here's another dealer with an even higher rating. This is a dealer with 100% positive feedback. Proof 68, $600. Just for those 3 coins, that's over $700 just for those 3 coins. The beautiful part about this collection is this collection had been stored for over 50 years. The sets were all original. There were a lot of spotted coins. But there was a run there of some just immaculate 1964 proof coins. They were just spectacular. And we ended up getting more high grades than we thought. And so this is one of those situations where we got some exceptional grades, and we are passing it on today while we have these sensational 1964 year sets. Now, we're offering 2 grades, the 6/8 sets and the 6/9 sets. And I'm going to price the 6/8 sets to you right now, folks. These complete sets, again, just the grading fees alone, the grading and shipping fees alone, if you were to submit each of these coins, the grading and shipping fees alone would cost you about $200. And it's unlikely you would get all these coins in 6/8 grade. I mean, you're going to get some 6/6s and 6/5s because they're going to have a couple little hairlines or spots. We have got the entire set in proof 68 condition. It's not $595 or $495. $395 would be a great price. $295 would be a sensational price. If you're a collector who wants to own this most historic year in 20th century United States proof coinage, you can own a set today in proof 68 condition. $189 for the complete 5-coin set. $189 for the complete 5-coin set. And if you want to get 3 of these sets, you can own 3 of these sets for only $549. That's $183 a set if you get 3. And finally, the lowest I can go, if you want to get 5 or more sets, this is the bottom, but this is so far below where the rest of the market is. And this is what I love to do. When I get a great opportunity on some coins where I get them well below market, I love passing the savings on to our viewers. And that's what we're doing in spades here today, because you can own 5 sets for only $179 a set, $895 for 5 sets. And if you want to get more than 5 sets, again, it's only $179 per set in proof 68 condition. Now, we've already got people calling in on this, and I haven't even priced the proof 69 sets out. The 69s, again, we're talking about the finest known, the highest grade. Most of these early proof coins do not exist in proof 70. Again, there are a lot of years that don't even exist in proof 68. 1964, proof 69 is the highest grade from NGC for a Lincoln set. Here's a 1964 proof 69, $159. Here's one for $224. The Lincoln set is a tough coin for the 1964 year set. Here's a Jefferson nickel, it's under $100. Here's a Roosevelt dime, $150. Here's a Washington quarter, proof 69, a tough coin to get. You know, the larger the coin, the harder it is to get in proof 69, simply because there's a greater chance of mishandling. The larger the coin, $200. Now here's a dealer though, I would call this one an outlier. This is a dealer, over 8,000 happy customers, 99.7% positive feedback, very highly rated, and he wants over $600 just for the Washington quarter, folks. And as far as the Kennedy, there's one for $499. Let's throw out that Washington quarter price of $680 and just use the comp of $200. If you figure the Lincoln at $150, the nickel at $100, the dime at $150, the Washington quarter at $200, and the Kennedy at $500, that's over $1,000 for the 5-coin set in proof 69. We've got the entire 5-coin set. Take a look at these. All 5 examples, matching 5-coin set, an ultimate proof 69, 1964 year set, $389 for the entire 5-coin set. $389 for the entire 5-coin set, folks. That is roughly about $75 a coin. That is a great opportunity if you want to put away an ultimate proof 69 1964 year set. You know, it's been a long time since I've been able to offer this year set in this kind of condition. It's a great time to put something like this away. My 6th book has come out on the Franklin and Kennedy half dollars. These Franklin and Kennedy half dollars are absolutely on fire. You know, the Kennedy half dollar is in tremendous demand, and here you have the first year of issue of the Kennedy half dollar. The only year these coins were struck on a 90% silver planchet at the old Philadelphia Mint, using those old proof-making technologies and that old style packaging. For a coin to survive like this in proof 69 is a miracle. And if you want to get 3 of these sets, folks, I've got a 3-set maximum on this. You can own 3 for only $1,099. It's my $10.99 special, okay? $1,099. That brings it down to only $366 a set. That is less than $75 a coin for 3 sets. $1,099 for 3 sets in proof 69 condition. If you've just tuned in, what I have here is really one of the most important year sets in all of U.S. coinage. The 1964 proof set in 6/8 condition and 6/9 condition. It is a key historic year in 20th century United States proof coinage. It was 1964, the first year of the Kennedy half dollar. President Kennedy being assassinated in November of 1963. 1964 was the first year they struck the Kennedy half dollar. It was also the last year the Kennedy half dollar, Washington quarter, and Roosevelt dime were struck on 90% silver planchets at the old Philadelphia Mint, where they used old technology and they used old style packaging like you see here. The quality back in those early years was so inferior in general to the quality of proof coins you can get today. And these came from an estate where we had several thousand of these sets that were stored away, folks, since the 1960s. We bought the entire collection. The quality was sensational. We've had a lot of spotted coins. Don't get me wrong. We had a lot of spotted coins. But then we had a lot of coins that came out Proof 68 and Proof 69, and we're able to offer the incredible opportunity for you folks watching today. We've got these Proof 68 sets for only $189 for the entire 5-coin set. And if you want to get 3 of the sets in Proof 68, again, we have them for only $549. That's $183. And finally, if you want to get 5 or more, the price drops all the way down to $179 a set for all 5 coins. $179. Complete set in Proof 68 condition. I think the lines are locked at this point. I don't know if we have an open line or not. No open lines at this point. Okay, so just hold on for, we'll get to you within a minute. We've got the greatest customer service representatives that's here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. You will enjoy the experience. Collecting is meant to be enjoyed. You know, we want to make the journey as pleasurable as possible. It's a lot of fun. It's a great hobby. These ultimate sets in Proof 69. This is the highest possible grade you can complete a matching year set in, folks, for 1964. This is it, Proof 69. $389 for the entire 5-coin set. I mean, there are some dealers who are asking more than that just for the $50. There's one dealer asking more than that just for the quarter. This is the entire 5-coin set, $389, and if you want to take advantage of 3 of these incredible sets, we have a limited number of these sets in Proof 69, but while we have them, if you want to get 3 of these sets, they're only $1,099, $1,099 for 3 sets. That brings it all the way down to $366 for an amazing Proof 69 year set, something you will not find at your local coin shop. You will not find a set like this at your local coin show, and you certainly won't find a set like this on any other show on Coin TV. It's only here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. This has been my specialty since the early 1980s, and I just love offering something from this vintage at these kinds of prices when I get the opportunity. And I haven't had this opportunity in a long time. It's a thrill to be able to offer this great year to our viewers here on Rick's U.S. Coin Show. I want to thank you for watching, and I really hope you can take advantage of one of these sets in 6/8, or if we still have some left, in 6/9 condition. Thank you for watching.
Rick Tomaska, knowledgeable, honest, sincere, author, PNG member, coin expert, passionate numismatist for 35 years, and founder of Rick's U.S. Coin Show on Rare Collectibles TV.
What we have today, folks, Caitlin, I have not been able to offer this to our viewers, I think, in about 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You know? Well, and what we have today is the reason why we're working on this new book. And you're doing the photography, and it's really exciting on the United States proof coinage, but it also includes special mint set coinage. And as you know, because you were looking at a collection just several weeks ago, I don't know how many tens of thousands of special mint sets you looked at. But you know just about as much about special mint set coins as I do.
Yeah.
And you know how terrible the quality is, and how, I mean, you're sitting there looking at set after set after set of this amazing and original collection, and the quality is just, you know, it's like.
It's really underrated for how difficult it is to find a very clean SMS coin. It's just, I'm actually surprised that there isn't even a bigger following, because it is so difficult to get a really nice, pristine example, much less with nice mirrors.
Well, you know, I bear responsibility for that. That's my fault, because I don't do enough presentations on special. No, really, one of the reasons I don't do many special presentations on special mint set coins is because nice examples are so hard to get. So that's the irony, folks. What we have today is the finest group of special mint set coins Again, I've offered in many, many years, and some of these sets are among the finest known. Now, first of all, you look on the cover of this, my very first book, there's a special mint set coin right here, 1967 Kennedy. This coin here, when I first wrote this book, I mean, this coin, I think I paid about $700 for it. I recently bought a special mint set, $50, folks, that I paid somewhere around $30,000 for, okay? Because I know how tough these coins are. Now, what exactly are special mint set coins? Special mint set coins were only struck, well, the very first special mint set coins were struck in 1965. You see, in 1964, we had proof coins. Proof coins were meant to represent the state of the art, the finest possible quality the mint's able to produce, given the technology of the day. But then in 1965, the mint decided, well, they're not going to go to the trouble of making proof coins anymore. So in 1965, they started striking what they called special mint set coins, which were meant to represent the state of the art. But they didn't receive the same kind of treatment and special care that proof coins received. And I have, again, a lot of detailed information here in my first book about special mint set coins, which I'll also have in the upcoming book. But and here are just a few of the differences. First of all, proof dies received a lot of polishing and special treatment. So did special mint set dies, but they didn't receive as much polishing to the same degree as proof dies. Very importantly, special mint set dies were used for a much longer period of time before they would replace the die with a new die. Proof dies, they might replace after just a few thousand strikes. Special mint set die, they might use for 50,000 strikes. So you had a lot of coins struck from very worn dies. Proof coins were struck at least twice under higher pressure to bring out every possible detail of the design. Special mint set coins were just struck once under normal pressure. You had a lot of softly struck coins. Most importantly, though, proof coins, once struck, were individually handled. They weren't allowed to abrade with any other coins. Special mint set coins were basically dumped into bins like normal commercial strikes. They had bag marks. They had spots. They had all kinds of problems. And I just remember, because I was a collector back then, in 1964, I loved proof coins. And then in 1965, the mint issued their special mint sets for the very first time. And I had the same reaction that collectors across the country had. And when I saw the coins, they looked like regular mint state coins. It was an incredible disappointment. So, folks, here is an original envelope, original special mint set as it came from the U.S. Mint in 1965. And I remember, getting my set, and opening it up, and the first thing I noticed, there were marks on the coin, on the $50. Caitlin, why don't you cut this coin out? First of all, show it to the set intact to the viewers so they can see the coin there. There may not have been as many marks as, say, on a mint state Kennedy $50, but still there were an abundance of bag marks, which was very disconcerting because these are supposed to represent the finest possible quality you could get from the U.S. Mint. And if we can zoom in and she tilts it around, you can see marks on the cheek there, above his ear there. There's a really nice scuff in the hair there that you can see. If you can point to that, right below the R there in Liberty, Caitlin's pointing to it there, and in his cheek area. Just scuff marks all over the coin. And that was just one of the problems. Then you had the problem with the Lincoln cents. Poor packaging, the quality of the Lincoln cents were atrocious. Here's several sets that I have, folks. Take a look at the Lincoln in there. It's brown. It doesn't have that original red color. I mean, Lincoln after Lincoln. Here's one that's brown and spotted. Spotting, carbon spots were a huge problem. If we can zoom in on this, because there's some serious spotting you could see there. in his hair, in back of his head, some of those spots there, and the reverse as well. Coin after coin after coin. You can see a carbon spots above, right at the top there around 12 o'clock. I mean, this is your typical quality in these sets. Here's a 65 cent. This is actually a very superior piece for 1965. If you zoom in, obverse looks pretty nice. Flip it over. Look at that spot there at around on the 1 cent, the carbon spot. You know, so those are among the greatest problems. The bottom line, folks, is that these coins are really, really elusive in MS-67 and higher grade. Now, the special mint set coins were only struck for 3 years, 1965, 66, and 67. And because the quality was so poor, the last year they made them was 1967. Even these coins were atrocious. Here's a 1967. In 1967 now, they issued them in these plastic holders like this. Which was better than the cellophane envelopes, but still not real good because, as Caitlin said, a lot of the coins would be really hazy. But you look at this coin and you look at all the marks on it. It looks like it was run over by a Sherman tank. You see the dies were polished and everything, but obvious bag marks from abrasions with the reading marks from other coins on this 67 half dollar. What I have today. And this has taken me several years, Caitlin and I, several years to put together. We have the 1965. First of all, the last year of proof production at the Philadelphia Mint, 1964, they struck almost 4 million proof sets. 1965, they only made just over 2 million special mint sets. So about half that number as proof sets in 64. 66, it was around 2 million as well, and in 1967 is like 1.8 million. And again, most of these coins are really, really horrible quality. What I've done is taken several years in the earlier proof coins. I've taken the 1955 proof coin NGC populations and the 1963, because 63 was the last year of the Franklin half dollar. And I've taken the 1964 proof coin populations because 1964 was the first year of the Kennedy half dollar, and it was the year immediately preceding the special mint set coins. And I've got there the NGC population totals. And you can see, for example, the 1955, even though they made struck fewer than 400,000 proof sets that year, they've graded, as far as the Lincoln cent is the rarest denomination that year in proof 69 condition, because the Lincoln cent, again, just as with the special mint set Lincoln cents, you got problems with carbon spots and toning, all kinds of issues. So they only have 229 examples graded in proof 69. I've seen those things go for $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 in proof 69, 1955 Lincoln. And then you get to the 1963 years. You can see how rare those coins are in 6.7, 6.8, and 6.9 grade. Only a couple thousand graded in 6.8 for most of those denominations. 64 Kennedy. Quality was higher in that last year of proof production at the Philadelphia Mint. You still see a lot more coins graded in proof 68 and proof 69. The quality was much higher in that last year of proof production at the Philadelphia Mint than in those earlier years. But then you get to the special mint set coins. That first year of the 65, look at the Kennedy. 7,500 graded in 6.7 condition. Scarce coin, only a couple thousand quarters. And look at the total for the Lincoln cents, 1,200 coins. Most importantly, look at the 6.8 populations. 53 examples of the Lincoln cent in 6.8, folks. 53 coins, none in 6.9. Then you go to the 1966. Very similar, although in 6.8, 66 Lincoln cent is about as rare in 6.8 as the 55 Lincoln is in 6.9. And the same holds true for the 1967. Folks, take a look. We'll start with this 1965, that first year of issue. every coin in MS-67 condition. Again, only around 1,200 of the Lincolns graded in MS-67. These are among the finest surviving examples. We put in all the work, cut out all the middlemen. We did all the labor, and believe me, it was weeks and weeks of work, going through literally tens of thousands from an original collection. We got first crack at, and we're passing the savings on to you. This is a group of coins that I feel are among the most undervalued coins of the 20th century, especially at the prices I have them for you today. And wait till you see the 68s on top of it. I only have a handful of these sets in MS-68, folks. They're just extremely rare. It's taken me literally many years to assemble the small group of these sets in MS-68, where every coin is an MS-68. If you want to put together the highest matching grade set of special mint set coins, the highest matching grade set you'll be able to assemble is MS-68. Because the one date, the 1965 Lincoln, has never been graded higher than MS-68. That is the highest grade. You take a look at what some dealers are asking for some of these coins. The 1965, this is an ungraded 1965 Kennedy half dollar, just the Kennedy half dollar, $350. The 1966, here's a top-rated seller on eBay, over 4,000 happy customers. Okay, so this is an established, top-rated seller on eBay, just for the Kennedy half dollar in 6/7 condition. I think that's a high price. Okay, no question about it, $2,500. Here's the same top-rated seller. He has one in MS-68. But here's a 1966, a little closer to the real world, but this is a dealer with 100% positive feedback for just the half dollar. He wants $660-some. Here's a 1965. MS-66, though, an MS-66, not a 6/7, $395. The 65 Lincoln, the key date, MS-68. Here's one that sold many, many years ago, sold for almost $2,000. For that just for the 65 Lincoln in MS-68 red, SMS. Then a few years later, another one came onto the market, went for about $3,000, over $1,000 more. The 1967, the one that appeared on the market, went for $460 just for that 1967. Here's what I got for you today. Starting with the 1965 set, folks. You saw some dealers just asking for the half dollar alone, several $100s. Again, we did all the work. We cut out the middlemen. We've got this entire set, all 5 coins. The entire set, not $995 or $595 or even $395. So there you see the half dollar, MS-67. Taking a look at the set. That extremely rare Lincoln cent, only 1,227 coins graded. The entire set, $195. For this key date, look at that, 65 Lincoln. It is phenomenal. This is where I get really excited, because folks, we were down there in the trenches looking at the coins, so to speak. Looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of these coins, and to come up with something like this, so we can offer it for $195. And then the 1966 set. It's the same quality, not quite as rare, but extremely rare. I mean, only 2,000 examples graded in 6/7 for the Lincoln. And that half dollar, you saw dealers asking $700 for MS-67 halves. We've got the 66 set for only $129, the entire set. That's not just the half dollar, that's the entire 5-coin set. The Lincoln alone should be $129. The Kennedy alone should be $129. The entire set, $129. And then the last year of the special mint set series, the 1967. About the same rarity as the 1966 in high grade. Those 1967s, the last year of the series, very few surviving in this kind of condition. Look at that, $50. The entire set, only $129. Here's the best part of all. We have a limited quantity of these 3 coin collections. That's 15 coins in all, 5 coins for each year, 15 coins in all, the entire collection, $395. $395. That's an amazing opportunity. Folks, when I cut out, let's say we cut out the middlemen. Here we have the coins graded by NGC. If you submit just one of these coins to NGC, the grading fee is $20, a $10 handling fee, $24 shipping fee. You know, the shipping of the coin to NGC is $10, $15. The cost, you have the cost of the coin. Your average cost is $90 a coin. Here you're getting the 15 coin collection for $395. That is roughly, you know, it's less than $30 a coin. Less than $30 a coin in MS67 condition. Now, the set in 6/8, we're going to be closing it out right here. This is the ultimate. I have a limited number of these sets in 68 condition. This is the highest grade collection I've ever been able to offer. I have not offered these sets in 6/8 in many, many years. This is essentially perfection, folks. There's the $50. Folks, we have the quarter, the dime in MS68. The nickel is a tough coin in MS68. 65 Jefferson nickel, only 153 examples graded in 6/8 because the nickel is a very hard planchet. You got poor metal flow. A lot of the coins are pitted. The Jefferson nickel is really tough in MS68. There's only one graded higher. And the Lincoln cent, this is the king of them all. The 65-year set, $1,995. Then we get to the 1966-year set in MS68. Extremely rare coins, only 1,300 Kennedy half dollars graded in 6/8. 438 Washington quarters. That's a really tough coin in 6/8 condition. At Washington quarter, only 438 quarters. The Jefferson nickel, the second rarest issue in 6/8 for that year because, again, the nickel, a very hard planchet. You had poor metal flow. A lot of the nickels had pitting on the high points of Jefferson. Here you got a fully struck piece, no marks, MS68, only one graded high, only 280 graded. And then the 1966 Lincoln, only 234 graded. Folks, this should be a $5,000 set. Again, we did all the work. We only have a handful of these, $795. Think about that for an MS68 set. And finally, the 1967 set. About the same rarity as that 1966 set, except the Kennedy is rarer in 1967 than the 1966. Only 799 Kennedy half dollars graded in 6/8. And that 1967 Jefferson, only 236 examples of the Jefferson in 6/8. 236 examples, 2 higher. Every coin 6/8, and that Lincoln, only 252 examples graded. Only 1 higher. You saw some of them sell in auction for almost $500 just for the Lincoln cent. The 1967 set, also only $795. Here's the best part of all. Individually, that comes to $3,585. You want the entire 3-coin collection, the ultimate special mint set collection, folks, all 15 coins, $3,295. We have a limited number of these sets. We've got a lot of people calling in. Got to close it here now because, again, very limited quantities. It's been many years since I've been able to offer this special mint set collection that you see here in this kind of condition. It's taken a lot of work for Caitlin and I putting this together. It's one of the inspirations, though, for our upcoming book. because of opportunities like this that are available to the collector of today, I hope you can take advantage of it. From Caitlin and I, thank you for watching. You're watching Rick's U.S. Coin Show on Rare Collectibles TV. I have what I would rank as one of the most consequential gold coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint that you could ever hope to own. And I have them at a great, great price for you today. We've got two display stands full of these 1932 St. Gaudens $10 Eagles in the extraordinary grade, certified by PCGS in MS 64 condition, among the finest known, folks. We have approximately almost 5% of the entire population of these coins that we just acquired. And like I say, we bought the entire deal and we're passing our good fortune on to you today. This is a most historic coin. Now, the first $10 gold eagles were struck by the United States Mint in 1795, and they were referred to as the capped bust variety. Here's an example of one. This one was struck in 1803, and it was the largest denomination coin struck by the U.S. Mint in those early years. The U.S. Mint struck everything from the half cent to the 1 cent coin, and then they had the half dime, the quarter, half dollar, and dollar. And then gold, they had the $2.50 gold piece, the $5 gold piece, and the largest gold coin was the $10 gold piece with almost a half an ounce of gold. And so they referred to it as the eagle, being the largest denomination. And then in the 1830s, they changed the coin design to what we refer to as the Liberty $10 eagle. Again, 1830s, this was the largest denomination gold coin struck by the U.S. Mint. And then on December 27th, 1904, then President Theodore Roosevelt decided to write a letter to the Secretary of the Treasury, Shaw. My dear Secretary Shaw, this is one of the most historic letters in all of U.S. numismatics, folks. Short, very short letter. I think our coinage is artistically of atrocious hideousness. Theodore Roosevelt was direct to the point. He didn't pull any punches. Would it be possible, without asking the permission of Congress, to employ a man like St. Gaudens to give us a coinage that would have some beauty? Sincerely yours, Theodore Roosevelt. Now, Theodore Roosevelt, and by the way, he did not like to be called Teddy, okay? He's one of my favorite presidents. He believed in the American dream, and he fought for it throughout his life, that America is the land of opportunity, and that every American, through hard work and virtuous living, should have the opportunity to improve their lives. Just because one is born poor doesn't mean they have to remain poor. And that was quite a revolutionary concept back in 1900, let alone 1776. Roosevelt was his own man. He is often referred to as the trust buster president for taking on big business in an age where corporate titans like J.P. Morgan had what Theodore Roosevelt believed was an undue amount of influence and control over the American economy through their monopolies. And it was to the detriment of the average American. He was instrumental in establishing our national park system so all Americans could enjoy the natural wonders of our country. And he also believed all Americans should be able to enjoy great art that inspires the soul. And so he wrote this letter to Secretary of Treasury Shaw. For what better way to appreciate and be inspired by great art than through our coinage, with images and symbols and words as daily reminders of who we are and what we strive to become. Now, getting St. Gaudens to agree to redesign our coinage was thought to be impossible, as St. Gaudens had once agreed to design a commemorative coin in 1892, only to have a government bureaucrat redesign his work without St. Gaudens' approval. Understandably, St. Gaudens was furious and swore never to have anything to do with the U.S. Mint again. But Roosevelt would not be denied. He wrote letters to St. Gaudens and letters and more letters. And over time, St. Gaudens came to see that while the two of them had very different professions, they both shared a love of great art. And so in 1906, St. Gaudens agreed to redesign all our coinage. Unfortunately, he was already dying from what turned out to be colon cancer. He was only able to redesign 2 of our coins before he passed away in 1907. The $20 double eagle and the $10 eagle that I have for you today. Many times on our show in the past, folks, we have offered the St. Gaudens double eagle, the $20 gold piece. And they're extremely popular coins. We rarely get to offer the $10 eagle because the $10 eagle is simply a much rarer coin, much more difficult to find, especially in mint state condition. But his $10 eagle, the St. Gaudens $10 eagle, is a classic. It's a coin that, among $10 gold, is probably the most beautiful ever struck by the U.S. Mint. And here you see an example. This is an example struck in 1911. You see the obverse and the reverse of the coin. Roosevelt really insisted on an Indian-type portrait for the obverse and the American eagle with "In God We Trust" on the reverse. Now, the coins we have today, though, are incredibly special. They're dated 1932, these $10 St. Gaudens Indians. The last year the United States Mint struck gold coins of any denomination for commerce was 1933. With the passage of Executive Order 6102 by then President Franklin Roosevelt in May of 1933, virtually all the gold coins struck that year by the U.S. Mint were melted back into gold bars. So any coin struck after 1933, any gold coin, I mean, there's only one St. Gaudens double eagle dated 1933 that is in private hands, and that's worth in the millions of dollars. It sold for about $7 million about 20 years ago. It's probably worth well over that today. There's only a handful of 1933 $10 eagles that were released by the Mint before that executive order. By handful, I mean several dozen pieces. And folks, because of their extreme rarity, they're in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. There you see an example that sold at MS-65 condition for over $800,000. There's one that sold in 6.4 for over $400,000. And here's one that was not even gradable. Surfaces tooled. It means the surfaces have been artificially worked on, enhanced, polished. So it's not even gradable. And it's still sold for $300,000. And this was just last year, okay, for a coin that's not even gradable, a $10 eagle. As I said, what's most important to understand about these coins is the extreme rarity of these compared to the St. Gaudens double eagle. Here's the one chart I made that is most instructive, comparing the population of the St. Gaudens $20 double eagle to the St. Gaudens $10 Indian. And you could compare the mintages. A lot more double eagles were minted than eagles. But then when you look at how few survivors there were in high-grade condition, when you get to the MS-64 grade, there were about 15 times more Saint-Gaudens certified in MS-64 than Indians. And then when you get to grades higher than that, the ratio is 30, 40, 50 times more. The $10 Indian is extremely rare high-grade condition. That bottom line, 1 in every 500 originally struck survived in MS-64 or higher condition today. These coins are so rare, folks. The 1932 in the Smithsonian is an MS-65. And these that we have today, through some real good fortune, we have an MS-64 for you today. Now, Executive Order 6102 demanded that all gold coins over $100 in total value, ownership over $100 in total value, would become illegal after May of 1933. So anybody holding gold coins beyond that amount had to turn them into the Treasury, where the Treasury then proceeded to melt those coins back down into bullion. And here's the percentage of all the gold coins melted down by the mint during that decade. And the highest percentage is among the $10 eagles. Almost half of all the eagles ever struck were melted back down into gold bars. This executive order has eliminated gold from our coinage as used for commerce. What was happening during the Great Depression? In the midst of the Great Depression, it was estimated that in 1933 alone, there were approximately 4,000 bank failures. Now, there was no FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance back then, to cover you if a bank failed. So imagine if you were a citizen back then with your life savings in a bank account that you had spent 10, 20, 30 years accumulating, your nest egg for your retirement. And going to the bank the next day, and the bank is shuttered shut. It had failed. You were wiped out. People were terrified. I mean, I can only imagine putting myself in that position. And so you had a lot of citizens whose banks were still solvent, but who were asking themselves, is my bank going to be next? And so they started pulling their money out of the banks. And with that money, they put it into something that they knew would have some value. They took that paper money and they started buying gold coins. Because gold, throughout human history, I mean, you can go back to Egyptian times, has always had value in all cultures around the world. Gold has always had value. So you had all these citizens buying gold coins. Well, this put additional stress on the banking system. And so, in response, Roosevelt passed this Executive Order 6102 saying the ownership of over $100 worth of gold was illegal. You had to turn it into the Treasury. And in exchange, you got paper money. Well, there were some individuals who had the means who said to themselves, okay, I can't own over $100 worth of gold in this country. However, there's nothing that says I can't own over $100 worth of gold in another country. So you had a lot of citizens taking their gold coins in bags and having them shipped to banks in Europe. And this is one of those bags, an actual bag that was in one of those European banks in 1933. In one of those European banks for over 85 years. And they've been sitting there since the 1930s. Now, most of them were double eagles. In this case, this is the first time I've ever seen a couple bags of these 1932 eagles. These coins, folks, should not exist. again, most of these later gold pieces were melted back down into gold bars. So you had a handful of bags of these 1932 St. Gaudens Indian Eagles that have been sitting in these European banks since the early 1930s that had just come out. You take a look at one of these. It is so superb. Folks, here's a coin. Again, this should not exist. So almost blemish-free. Now, this $10 eagle, it's about 10% smaller in diameter than a $50. Okay, so it's slightly smaller than a $50. But it is about 30% heavier than a $50. And I'm talking about the silver $50 struck 1964 and earlier. I'm not talking about the most recent $50 struck in clad metal. Those are lighter, about 10% lighter than the earlier silver $50. These are about 30% heavier than a silver $50. They're heavy coins. And gold is a very soft metal. When you look at one of these coins, the coins were struck for commerce. They weren't struck for collectors. They were struck for commerce. They were ejected from the die into a bin. One coin would fall on top of another. They would go through coin counting machines. They were dumped into bags, shipped on trains to banks throughout the country. So most of them went into circulation. But then with this executive order, there were some bags that had just come out of these banks that had never got into circulation that were shipped to banks in Europe. And they've been residing there ever since. Otherwise, these would be heavily abraded and worn, just like all the other gold coins, or melted down. These are among the finest known. How few bag marks, and they are extremely rare, as you can see by those population numbers. And it's the price that I'm thrilled that we have for you today. That's the price that I'm able to offer them at. You take a look at what these coins have sold for in auction. Here's an example, an MS-64 graded by ANAX. Okay, that's not as highly traded among dealers and collectors as PCGS and NGC. But even that coin sold for over $4,000, and that was in the year 2006. Now, folks, in 2006, gold was around $600 an ounce, and it sold for $4,000. Today, gold is around $1,900 an ounce, more than 3 times what it was around 2006. Here's another example. Same year, $4,300 an MS-64, 2006. Here's one that sold for $6,900, same year, when gold was around $600 an ounce. And here's an MS-63, a lower grade than what we have today, for over $2,700. We were incredibly fortunate. We were first in line when we bought this deal. We bought the finest specimens, every single example that graded MS-64. We have several hundred. The several hundred we have, folks, is all we have. This is truly one of those Halley's Comet once-in-a-lifetime events. This group of 1932 Eagles that came out of the great European bank hoard. And we got them at such a great price. This is a coin we could offer for $2,900, and you would be getting a great price. Here we are with gold at over $1,800 an ounce, 3 times more than what gold was selling for back in 2006 when these coins were going for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in MS-64. $29.95 is a price we could easily sell these at. But again, our philosophy, the key to our success, is that our prices are always based on our cost. And when we get a great deal, that means we pass our good fortune on to you. $24.95 is an even better price. We even got it down to $2,095, and we were going to go in at $2,095. And that was going to be the price. But then at the last minute, I said, you know what? I want to make history on this. I want to make history on this. I want everybody to record this. And so they could play it back 10 years from now. They could say, wow, I can't believe these 1932 $10 Eagles and MS-64 were selling for that price. This is the only time you're going to see this, folks. I said, let's make history. Let's offer it for under $2,200 a coin. I've got them for $21.95, folks. $2,195 a coin. $2,195. I got it below $2,200. Or you could use our two-payment option, half down today, of $1,097.50, and we'll hold one of these coins for you. For a St. Gaudens Eagle, almost a half ounce of gold, in MS-64 condition, among the finest known. Again, far less than 1% of the total mintage of all the Indian Eagles have survived in the condition you see these coins. These are extraordinary. There's never in the history of Coin TV been a group of Eagles, the quality you see here and the quantity we have these coins at. We have several hundred, and several hundred, though, is all we have. Once these are gone, that's it at this price. At $21.95, I wanted to make this an incredibly special opportunity. At $21.95, you are getting all of the good fortune that we got in acquiring these coins being passed on to you today. I hope you can get more than one at this price. If you can get 3, 4, 5, get them while we have them, because at this price, it really is a collector's dream come true. The last year of United States gold that you can own for under $100,000. Again, any other 1933 out there, the last year $10 Eagles were struck was in 1933. The few that didn't get melted down sell for the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this 1932 is the end of an era. The last year U.S. Mint struck gold coin could be owned by the average collector, the average citizen. Again, these Eagles were first struck in 1795. This is the end of the era, folks, 1932. And we've got them in MS-64 for $2,195. We have a lot of people calling in on this. You know, in 1995, when a lot of dealers are selling MS-64s for double that price, you figure you get two for the price of one. There's nobody else that can offer this kind of coin at this kind of price. This most beautiful, historic St. Gaudens Eagle. A coin he never actually got to see released. He passed away before the coin was released in 1907. And so he never actually got to see his $10 and $20 gold pieces struck for commerce. And here are his two masterpieces. The St. Gaudens Double Eagle, the St. Gaudens Eagle we have for you today. It's the rarer of his two gold coins struck. The St. Gaudens Double Eagles, the U.S. Mint struck about 70 million examples. About 40% of those were melted down, but the $10 Indian, they only struck about 14 million examples, and almost half of those were melted back down into bullion. And here we have the most extraordinary finding out of the great European bank hoard. Several bags. Now, a lot of them were lower grade, had a lot of small nicks and scratches, because again, gold is a very heavy, very soft metal. When you have these gold coins being dumped into bins, thrown into bags, most of them are heavily abraded. These coins are near flawless. When you're talking about MS-64, you're talking about a coin that has never been in circulation. Coins are graded on a 70-point Sheldon grading scale from 0 to 70. The lower the number, the heavier the wear. Anything below a 60 is a coin that has been in circulation, that has wear on it. An MS-60 is a coin that has never been in circulation. It came straight out of a mint bag. However, it has a lot of bag marks on it. It's very heavily abraded. An MS-70 would be a perfect coin with no bag marks whatsoever, a flawless coin under magnification. There are no $10 Indians or St. Gaudens or any other coins from this era in MS-70. They don't exist. An MS-65, folks, is an extraordinary grade, and MS-64 is an extraordinary grade. Again, only one in about every 500 originally struck have survived in this condition. That is how rare they are, with so few bag marks. I hope you can get more than one. This is an opportunity to really take advantage of something that will not come our way again, where we can offer these coins with gold pushing way beyond $1,900 an ounce. And here we're offering these eagles for only $2,195. Or you can use our two-payment option, 2 payments of $1,097.50. In closing, there's a recent article in a highly respected numismatic publication. And there's a quote I'd like to pull from that, and it's something I've talked about for the last several years on my show. To quote directly from the article, there has not been a time in recent memory when pre-1933 gold coins were obtainable for so little over spot. And by that, what they mean is, here you have these eagles that in 2006, 2007, in this grade were selling for $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and gold was $600 an ounce. So they were selling about 10 times their gold value. And here we have gold at $1,900 an ounce. We're selling these for $21.95, about half an ounce of gold. So it's about 2 times the gold value in MS-64 condition. Now again, we were very fortunate to get this entire deal to be able to offer them at this price, because normally we would have had these priced at $29.95. But we bought this deal, again, these came out of the Great European Bank Hoard. This is one of the original bags from the Great European Bank Hoard. We've kept a few as mementos. And that's the only reason we have these coins today. Again, this 1932 St. Gaudens Eagle, a most historic year in U.S. numismatics. The last year you can own a gold coin struck by the U.S. Mint for Commerce at this kind of price. It really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Please take advantage of it. This is just a beautiful coin, one of my favorite coins, one of the most beautiful coins struck by the U.S. Mint. The $10, often referred to as the Indian. I call it the St. Gaudens Indian because, again, it was designed by St. Augustus St. Gaudens. It's one of the classics. I truly love looking and admiring these coins. Folks, I've got some in my hand. I want to thank you for watching this presentation. Again, we have these coins for only $21.95, or our 2-payment plan, $1,097.50 in 2 equal payments over 30 days. Please stay tuned for our next presentation. We've got another great United States rarity coming right up.
Thanks for joining.
Welcome to Rick's U.S. Coin Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Rick Tomaska, your host, and I have got an incredibly exciting gold opportunity for you today. That's the good news. The bad news is I have real limited quantities of this coin. They're in mint state condition, folks, and they're Smithsonian quality. These coins are equal or superior to the example in the Smithsonian.